J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find
Yo, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? Got a few interesting things to go over, but as I said on in Discord and on what's it called, X, gonna start playing Monday, the beginning of the stream, about 30 minutes or so. We're gonna play a indie game that we'll be playing for the week, and this week we are set for Void Wars. Kind of a, here, I'll get the sound going on it. A 40K like gothic, gothic grim dark game similar to FTL. So I saw it. Kamoji had sent it to me about a week ago, or no, not a while ago, and there we are. I actually forgot to send this out to anybody, so bear with me here. Oh man, I've been off my rocker today trying to do all sorts of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Bear with me. You're also going to watch a couple of videos. A guy named, I know as Executioner, sent me a video. We were having a disagreement about this new game, HighGuard, that we know next to nothing about, but it's being touted as the next Concord. It's just, most of it was because Cabrutus said that it's woke because of the LGBTQ user ran data, which isn't reflection of the game itself. It's it's just user stuff. A bunch of users, when the game first went on there and put LGBTQ. Literally anyone could add it, so you have no idea who has control of it, who added it, who did what. But of course it's woke and gay, so we have to go from there. Oh, there, Boop. Boom. Send that out, and then let's go on to ZX. Boom, boom, boom. I need to find out. I meant to try and find out more about this, the HighGuard game. Maybe we'll do it live or in chat. Or I mean, we'll probably do it live or in chat. Here we go. Boost. Going live. I'm just gonna get this out quick here tonight, since we're just boom, get that there. Boom. Nice. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting best analysts I've seen is HighGuard over guard equals watch. Game volume down. You up? Yeah, I'm here. Let me turn it up a little bit for you then. How's that? Sounding better? Good to have you, Nazmir. Yeah, we're gonna play some Void Wars today. It was a hard choice, so I decided to start doing this. No, music down, game volume up, or game volume down, you up. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Hold on, I can barely hear me. How's that? Does that sound any better? May just have to turn it all the way down. Much better? Good. So we'll go with that. Boom! Let's begin. So I actually played the tutorial in the demo, and then I ended up liking the tutorial so much that I went and bought the game. So that will be a choice I can make every week. Oh, is it going to put me back through the... Yep. Yeah, it's going to put me back through the tutorial again, even though I was hoping to get through it. Try and get through a lot of this that I just went through. Fire. Okay, thank you. I mean, the funny thing is I actually never played FTL. Is into roguelites as I am, or roguelikes as I am. I'm just not into. I just never picked up FTL. It's one I'm gonna have to go back and play. I know it now, especially after playing this game. I don't know how much different they are. Oh, this is where I got a vent. Boom, boom. Commander to the chair. Close that back up. Yep. Give it the drive. Boom, boom. Continue. Of course, the engine brakes. Let's get these two wahoos on it. Oh, man. You've got a long list of them, too. I was going through several of the games that you posted up there, Nazmir, and I was like, yeah, I think I need to, I need to take a look at some of these. So I've got plenty of at least backlog, unless I find something else that I like, of course. All right, let's go here. Home. Yep. Just love it. I love it. All right, continue. Yep. Hit there. But I like the idea of doing a different indie every week. I mean, I'll probably still go back and do some of my favorite games, you know, Dwarf Fortress, Rim World, anything else. I still need to finish my Let's Play on, God, what was that game? Chrono, and go from there. This looks like FTL, but with mods or something. No, this is its own standalone game. And it's pretty decent. If you ask me, load crew. Load crew. What do you mean not right here? It wants me to put it in. Load crew. No, I don't have to do it with that. And it's very, very, very 40K-esque. Yep, the crew's loaded. I see that. Boom, boom, and we're gonna boom, push him right there. Little dudes fighting. These are husks, renegade husks. Yeah, it's all right, Kamoji. It's my fault. I forgot to send out the invite. I forgot to send out the announcement today. I was playing this and I got up to get some of the stuff like my drink and whatever else I needed. Yep, Void War is going to be the game of the week. I'm actually glad you pointed it out to me because it's already pretty interesting. I went and bought the game. It's so interesting for it. Let's autopilot that and just keep going at it. On fire. Continue firing until the ship is destroyed. I can get rid of that. I hate when people who really know they try and talk about the military like they know what the fuck they're talking about, right? Talking with was it Executioner, and about his little about women being in the military and things like that. And I know a lot of the arguments we had with women being in combat positions. And it's like no matter what I tell him, he just sticks to the same point. Like you realize they were female medics and they have to do what the other guys have to do, right? They have to do what any combat guy has to do because they're combat medics. They've been around at least since the 90s. That was the farthest back I could find a equivalent for it. Of course, we do this and that. Boom. What is this? Oh, I can transfer it everywhere, anywhere I want. I teleport there. Get him back to the chair. Did your training. Now I'm all on my own. Let's go. What's this one? Imperial Shrine, a nexus of influence. Hey, what's going on? Ready? Yeah, as long as they do their jobs, who cares what gender they are? That's the point that I'm trying to get around with him, and he keeps going back at me. Women just can't do what men can. But I asked if they could do the standard, if they can meet the standard that the military requires them to do. What's the problem with him being in? And he just kind of repeats himself. Pledge yourself to the Imperial cult. Ooh, you arrive at the old shrine. Its structure is worn, but no, I'm not doing that. They do not have time for such. You do not have time for such superstitions. We're gonna go chaosy. You recalibrate your astrogation instruments and prepare to jump. Boop. Let's go here. I'm surprised this wasn't made by the FTL people. It's basically a more feature-rich FTL, but with 40K stuff. I'll have to try it out. I liked FTL. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. And being as I never played the FTL, this is kind of my first experience with it, which is sad. I should have played that one. Launch bay, steal from the haulers. You have a passenger line of cargo haulers looting aimlessly. One of the haulers broadcasts a harrowing speech and is met by a wild cheer of other hauler captains. Launch and steal. Ooh, a grav carbine. Let's see what that is. This is a weapon. We're going to give it to the guy who actually goes on the ship. There you go, bud. A little pistol for, or a little gun for you, or carbine. Boom. I mean, you get. It's easy to play. I like games like this. Like, this will be a good game for stream. I don't think I need a merchant yet. Uh-oh, I'm not going to the merchant yet. Boop. Because I don't have... Oh, I have 57, I suppose. The raider vessel is passing through the region. As soon as you make visual contact, they power up their weapons and open fire. They appear to be carrying some cargo. All right, let's do this, buddy. What you got there? Let's go there. We'll damage their weapons. Auto fire on that one. And then these guys, I need you to go steal me some stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, go right in here. Yes. Steal. Got the scrap metal. Let's get you boys out of there. Boom. Finish them off and we'll be good to go. Is there a speed up button? Probably not. I definitely like I like the design of 40K ships to begin with. So seeing this design on here to do the FTL is amazing. Ooh. It's not vented, it's just my ship. Boom. That should do it. Goodbye. On top of looking at some of the stuff around this HighGuard game, that, like, in my opinion, is just not going to be good. It looks like it's going to be slop, right? But to just flat out say that it's Concord 2.0, I don't know about that. I don't know that many people are going to make the mistakes that Concord made when it comes to... I actually got some money. Let's go back in here and see what we can do. So space drive is charging. Let's trade. Missile template. Shiv missile, Claymore missile, Flare missile. Flare missiles are driven from intent of asteroid. Hull damage per shot 1. Munitions cost ignores shields. High chance of hull breach. Inflicts minor crew damage. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see. Yeah, and then we need a missile bay, of course. We will put it right here. I don't know why you did that. Terror Amplifier fires psychic blasts that stun enemy crews, ignores shields, and can target. How much do I have? I have enough. Let's see. Synaptic Enforcers plus 10 to all War Cultist units. Oh. Plus 10 to all Machine Slave units. Stackable. Pain Engine plus 10 HP to all Blood Cultists. I am loving the names of this stuff. So we've got missile template. Okay. I think we're going to be good here. Buy 1 unit of munitions. Repair maximum. Okay. Let's get out of here. I think we're good. Whoop. You arrive just outside a direct detection range of a large Gulfalian fleet. A violent subspace maelstrom brews nearby, drawing their attention. As they attempt to navigate through the turbulence amidst the chaos, several transport vessels fall behind. The storm's ferocity has left them exposed and isolated. You contemplate attacking one of the vessels. Ooh, let's attack one with occult knowledge. I like it. Ready your weapons. Boom. All right. Let's go for life support. Take out some of their life support. Okay, so let's. Oh, I gotta buy more munitions for it. Okay, fair enough. Keep going. We are going to. Ooh, they can hit us too. We're gonna send our little crew over. No, we'll keep them here. We'll keep them here. We're gonna end up destroying this thing anyways, and we're not taking any hull damage really. Oof. There we go. Let's get you to munitions. Let's get you to shields. Oof, slowed. I don't like that. Oh, look at them losing oxygen. Ha ha ha. I love it. No oxygen. Now they're starting to die. I want to see how you can get different ships and things like that. It's supposed to be a difficult game. You know, you go through, do your thing. Boom. That's on fire now. Let's hit another target here. Let's start shooting some of these other ones. See if we can't cause some vents into space. You recover an innate psychograph from the remains. A force shield. Interesting. Finish them off, buds. Oh, why did it do that? Fire. Fire. Oh, they all died, I see. Destroy it and we'll get out of here. Boom, boom, boom. Enemy ship explodes in fiery conflagration. What's this do? Shield the immediate area against hostile projectiles. Psychic. I don't have a psychic, I guess. Alright, so we'll hold on to that. Upgrades, we need to do upgrades. Upgrade the reactor so that I can actually have this on at the same time, even though I can't use it right now. And let's get out of here. Couple more minutes, I think this last one, and we'll go ahead and get the content started. Ooh. You happen across an Imperial vessel on a courier mission. They issue a chain of broken and incoherent transmissions shortly before opening fire. You sons of bitches. You sons of bitches. Let's Doom. Yeah, but I don't have any. So, oh, shoot. Not paying attention. Get in there. Get in there. Fix it, fix it, fix it. Gotta pay attention to everything. I don't really need them to fix that at the moment. What we're gonna do is get on here. Oh, brother, are they really calling HighGuard? Yes, yes, they are. Oh no, that's not wrong. Oh, did I do? Okay, good. Woo! Heat beam. Okay. 50% repair speed. Heat beam. Let's go with that. What is a heat beam? Is that going to be in here? I guess I didn't look to what it does. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's get started today. The other content we're going to watch is another fucked up game. It was one that was mentioned, I guess, back in the day that was kicked off of Steam called Horse. Yeah, no problem, bud. I figured after you deleted it, that's what you were going to do. So the video that was sent to me was what's his name? Legendary Drops, but I was going to call him Anti-Woke Light. That's it, Anti-Woke Light. So this is apparently proof, is going to have the proof that this is the next Concord, which already it doesn't make sense to me because the game itself already is going to be free to play, right? It's already stating free to play on it. So I don't see why it's being called Concord. It may not be good. I absolutely. I was gonna watch a Vara video. Did I not change the? I meant to change it. We still may watch it then. Retrieve the relic. So here we go. Boop. Good old Legendary Drops and his video. Why does it always do this to me? Always. Boom. Okay, let's do this. You know, just to make it look pretty. Then, boop. I do not know why my chat box quit working. Blessed Blade. We'll take the Blessed Blade. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with some Legendary Drops. Whoop. Get him up in the top there, and we'll see if he can prove to us what, why this is the next Concord.
The Game Awards have come and gone. Expedition 33 received its flowers. We watched as indie games dominated not only in nominations, but also awards, and we were showered in incredible trailers from the return of Tomb Raider.
Of course it's her being a grifter. I forget what the video was even about. I was actually going to pull up another fucked up game. But we'll see.
To Larian Studios' next game, Divinity. Man, was that one worth it. Then at the end of the show, Jeff Keighley comes out and really lays it on thick. And he shows us HighGuard, a PvP hero shooter.
Yep.
What were they thinking?
I mean, this is where obviously I'm gonna have an agreement with him. I don't know why anyone thought, like, why he thought anyone would give a shit about that game. Like, why not pick the Star Wars one as the reveal, or you know, the one that was building up? Like, we already knew what Divinity was, but you could have at least, I don't know, done something that was better than all that, something people were actually excited for.
Especially following the Divinity trailer. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And he had all the fanfare, all the anticipation. Man, did that guy want to make sure he sold that game. It was the last spot of the night, normally where we would typically see a really big heavy hitter, a major reveal, and They just pretended like it was something that we were begging for.
But isn't this like famously what Jeff does?
The while showing us something that we've seen a million times by now. The same music, the same slow motion hero animations showing their powers and all of that good stuff. It was just like Concord's trailer in more ways than you actually think, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And
So it's like here's the thing. Here's the problem that I have with this is they're always like it's like the Concord trailer. Okay, you know literally nothing about the game, but for some reason you're making insane insane choices for this particular game, right? Why does this have to be like Concord just because you don't like the look of the trailer? Show me the evidence.
Seen a lot of feedback surrounding this game. People are not very happy. Most people are just kind of sick and tired of a lot of this stuff. I've seen the developers having a really hard time with it on social media. A lot of people also rushing to defend them, trying to create a pillow fort to defend them from all the toxic gamers. You know, it's just the streamers and the
anti-woke light
YouTubers that are the problem. These aren't real opinions. It's just manufactured hate more than anything else. Not listening to the players. You know, that's worked out a lot for these guys in the past, hasn't it? All they are is just protecting a game that is clearly destined for failure. You have to learn from these lessons. So today, I'm talking about why that is. I'm talking about the fate of this game. I'm talking about all the bad decisions that these guys made up to the release of this game, why this game is such a bad idea, why people hate it, why people are defending it, and why I don't think this is the last time we're...
Oh shit, why did it do that? There we go. No, it wasn't. Somehow I hit the button again.
We're gonna see it. This video is sponsored by Arknights Enfield, coming out January 22nd. This is a full 3D real-time strategy action RPG set on Talos 2, mixing fast tactical team combat, factory building and management, and the whole process of exploring and reshaping different regions of a planet in a way that honestly surprised me. You play as the administrator, managing this frontier outpost while you fight, explore, and build. Exploration isn't always safe. You will run into hostile creatures and dangers along the way. That's where your team combat comes in. You can pick from a roster of 24 operators with different classes and different skills.
What's with this gotcha bullshit? Like, what is this? Why would I give a fuck about this?
Types to build the team that you want. Combat plays out in real time.
You know, I've already watched a video a while back where we talked about the... you know, how he's kind of compromised, that it's no longer about the journalism that he talks about it, and he'll never take game, you know, money and things like that, to where he's just taking it. It doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Times they're gonna be swapped.
I'm gonna skip ahead.
Description or the pinned comment.
I don't care about a fucking.
The Game Awards lives and dies by trailers. Every single year it's the same. Same cycle, rumors, wish casting, people convincing themselves that this is finally the night for Bloodborne 2 or Half-Life 3, and because of that, the final trailer carries extra weight. It's supposed to be the big one. Jeff Keighley really leaned into that hard. He reminded everybody that the last slot is saved for something special, teased that this game was being made in secret, and then dropped the pedigree. Former Respawn developers, the people behind Titanfall and Apex Legends, breaking away from AAA. Expectations spiked, the room went dark, the trailer rolled, and what followed was the most aggressively generic reveal we saw the entire night. HighGuard is a PvPvE hero-based shooter where you are playing as wardens fighting over territory and raiding enemy strongholds. On paper, honestly, fine, but the problem is that none of that actually comes through in the trailer. What does come through is how completely interchangeable all of this feels. The same abilities, the same pacing, the same presentation that we have seen a dozen times by now. It's pulling straight from the Valorant playbook right down to the silhouettes and the cooldown-driven combat. The character that they led with,
yeah, now,
honestly,
that I can get as a good comparison, right? Valorant, sure. Yeah, it's just another looter shooter. That's really all I can think of. Summon Stygian worms. Temporarily summon a Stygian worm nearby. Ooh, I like that. Me likey. Yeah, it's like there's so many comparisons you can make to it being like slop and things like that, but not this, I suppose. Like what makes this such an egregious title of the game? or like what makes it Concord. That's what I should be saying, is like what makes it Concord.
Actually looks like John video game. Zero identity, zero personality, a lot like the whole game. The entire time that I was watching this trailer, I had this nagging feeling that I had seen this before. Not just like, oh, it's another live service shooter. No, I mean, like, I've literally seen this before. And it didn't click for me until the ice troll slammed into the ground, and then my brain immediately clicked and said, oh no, this is Concord. That is definitely Concord. So I went back and I compared the trailers, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The hero ability introductions are damn near identical. The pacing and the percussion-heavy music is just about the same.
Is this it? It's the same animations as Concord? Really? Is that slam attack really different from other hero shooters? I'm not a big hero shooter guy, but isn't there like a guy that slams the ground in every hero shooter?
The rhythm of the cuts, the way the abilities are framed, the timing of, oh, look how cool this character is moments, it all lines up perfectly. If you start splicing the two trailers together, you genuinely start to lose track of which game you're watching unless you're paying close attention. I don't know if they outsource some of the same assets, but you cannot wash the Concord stink off of this thing. I mean, these guys are already falling into the exact same trap that buried Concord. This is a hero shooter with completely unremarkable characters. They're not offensively bad this time. They're not hideous, but they're just safe, polished, inoffensive, and instantly forgettable. Not a single character jumps out at you or makes you say, you know what, I am curious to play them. The abilities are all things that we've seen before. The powers blur together, and yet this trailer has the nerve to say that it is a new breed of shooter when it looks exactly like 10 other games from the past year.
Oh,
and
so hold on. Now we're at 10 other games instead of just Concord, because it's just like every other hero shooter, right? I'm not going to say that I enjoy any of the character designs of any of the hero shooters that are out there. They're all the same cartoonish character designs. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly interesting to me. But this one is like Concord, even though it's like every other one.
Clearly, players are feeling the same way. The reaction online was immediate. People started calling it Concord 2 almost instantly. Others were furious that the game somehow got the final slot of the show. Dead on Arrival has become the default label for the game. IGN's upload is sitting at over 300,000 views right now with over 40,000 dislikes and barely 4,000 likes. The trailer is getting absolutely cooked on social media. Ratioed and reposts, side-by-side comparisons everywhere. Characters are getting dragged for looking like knockoff versions of existing heroes, like the sniper who is basically just a blonde version of Anna from Overwatch. And then you've got Tomb Raider developers that are getting universal praise right now for revealing that they've been working on the game, while HighGuard developers are announcing that they can finally talk about theirs, and they are being met with nothing but backlash, to the point that some of them are just straight up going private.
I mean, that's Jeff's fault, right? They should have, if this wouldn't have been launched as the main headliner for, you know, the end of the Game Awards, I don't think they'd be getting the hate as much as they are. But because Jeff is Jeff and he thought this was the big game that everyone wanted to see, even though like there's 100 of these out there, yeah, they're getting more hate for it. Let's go back and read some of these. Day one of being a game dev with a public facing game, and I got 75 quote retweets personally ripping me apart, simply for being excited to share what I poured myself into for years. Locked the account for the time being. He probably shouldn't have even said that. Yeah, it's everything is the Concord 2 until nothing is. Right. I mean, we might as well, if he's going to say that it's just like 100 other shooters. I don't know if it was Jeff or the studio paying to be the main reveal. Well, that's true. It's more than likely they paid to be the main reveal. And if that's the way they decided the, you know, where to be in it, that was a big mistake, you know, just because that's supposed to be the game everyone wants to see. Like there were tons of people that I'm sure were waiting for that last one, hoping to God, huffing their copium that it was gonna be Half-Life. But here we are. Now, I don't suggest like making these. I suggest like if you're a dev and you start getting shit for your games, lock the account. right? I don't give a shit if you lock the account because everybody's attacking your game with nothing but a trailer, right? Now you can get into some things like them showing copy and paste of a character. That's a problem. That's a pretty big problem. And that, you know, that particular one is pretty egregious, right? I mean, look at that. You don't get much closer to that. But then again, what do all the other snipers in these games look like? Are the character designs very different? But again, I'll say that this is a pretty egregious copy paste, we'll say. Then after 2.5 years, I can finally share that I am the head of character and creature rigging on HighGuard. It was revealed live at the Game Awards tonight, and while I was in the audience, it's been a dream job. I can't believe how lucky I am. So the guy is just announcing that he is part of the game, and he feels like he's good to make his game, but people are just shitting all over it, right? It's not valid criticism from anybody. It's a fucking trailer. You know nothing about it. Like, you can say that the characters are boring, but I would argue that, yeah, all of these games have boring looking characters. They all look the same to me. Doesn't matter which one I look at, whether it's Valorant, whether it's Overwatch, whether it's, you know, whatever other ones that are out there.
Met with nothing but backlash. Not a great response, and definitely not the one you're hoping for after spending some serious money on putting your trailer on the biggest stage in the entire industry. The Game Awards now reportedly pulls in more viewers than the Super Bowl, and getting your trailer on the show is not cheap. Anywhere from $450,000 to over $1 million, depending on its length. That's before we factor in how much it costs for them to buy out the final slot of the night, the spot that's reserved for the biggest, most anticipated reveals. That is an insane gamble, and in this case, it is completely blown up in their face.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard some people say that the trailer placement is the problem, and sure, I guess kind of. I mean, if this thing had shown up earlier in the night, there wouldn't have been nearly as much anticipation that was riding behind it, and also it probably wouldn't have been directly contrasted to some of the genuinely exciting reveals that we had seen. I mean, how do you follow up that Divinity trailer? But let's be honest here, regardless of where that trailer was placed, it still would have been just as forgettable. The backlash here is not some mystery puzzle that the internet needs to solve. The biggest issue that we have is the expectations that this studio set for themselves. This is supposed to be an independent studio, a breakaway team, former EA employees, more importantly, former Titanfall developers branching off to go and do their own thing. And what do they come back with? The safest, most corporate thing imaginable. The kind of live service hero shooter that we have come to expect from moronic and repetitive AAA publishers following the tail of everyone else, not from a studio that escaped that system. And that's the part that makes no sense to me. And this is likely what pissed people off the most. You escaped. You are free. You're supposed to be the ones that are making games for us, not for the fucking machine. Why wouldn't you make something actually...
Let's go back. I need to listen to that again because I kind of missed some of it. This is like, you can genuinely be angry about like them not making Titanfall. Are my shields really critical? Yeah, they are. Let's get over you guys over here.
This is supposed to be an independent studio, a breakaway team, former EA employees, more importantly, former Titanfall developers branching off to go and do their own thing. And what do they come back with? The safest, most corporate thing imaginable. The kind of live service hero shooter that we have come to expect from moronic and repetitive AAA publishers following the tail of everyone else, not from a studio that escaped that system. And that's the part that makes no sense to me. And this is likely what pissed people off the most.
Welcome to, you know, gaming. Like, obviously these guys left and wanted to make a game that they wanted to make. Maybe they thought, you know, that the hero shooter is what people needed. Dumb freaking take. But like, this is you hyping. This is insane to think that every group that's gonna come out there is gonna like suddenly produce Expedition 33, you know, without the kind of backing that Kepler gives to Sandfall, right? And that's a lot of, they take care, like Kepler takes care of a lot of the back end. You would think that former Titanfall devs making a Titanfall style game would be a legal problem they didn't want to deal with, but I don't know. I mean, it's possible, right? I've seen devs go and make the version of their game that they wanted to before, but you're right, like with Titanfall being so original, like it's in the way that it was done, it'd be really hard to feel like the corporate machine wouldn't come after you for it.
You escaped. You are free. You're supposed to be the ones that are making games for us, not for the fucking machine.
Who said that they wanted to make games for you? Did these devs come out and say that they're making games for the people now, or that they're just making the game that they want to make? That's kind of the point of the independent company. The problem, I think, with this comes in the idea that, hey, everybody wants Titanfall, and what's the company that makes Apex Legends that they completely abandoned Titanfall, and there's a lot of like disdain for them in that idea. So this dev leaves them and they make their own gaming company, and I mean they copy and paste basically Apex Legends but with medieval flavor to it. It leaves, what do I say? It's just this just feels like animosity. Not that this game is the next Concord, but that they're mad that this dev didn't make Titanfall.
Why wouldn't you make something actually different? Something that players clearly want. You fly the flag of Titanfall for the reputation it gives you, but not for the meaning behind it. The audience behind that game did not disappear. It's been ignored. You know what? Who am I kidding? Of course, the only person that clearly sees that need is some random solo developer that's making a diesel punk mech shooter off of Kickstarter money and a YouTube channel. Seriously, go check out Diesel Nights. That guy actually gets us. I went back and actually watched his trailer after watching the HighGuard reveal, and it is night and day. It's so distinct, it's so messy and unrefined and raw, and it just feels human. And watching that back just made it even more obvious.
I'll go check this guy out if he's making the game that people want to make.
It's how few people in this industry genuinely understand that the
Dark and Darker had to deal with it. I can't imagine if EA went after them for copying Titanfall. Yeah, I get it. Oh, that's a nice shout actually. Yeah, I'll check this out. And I love mech games. I was just playing a mech game last week. Though I will say, I think the biggest problem I have with the Phantom Brigade is the AI seems really stupid. Like, to the point that you'll have a you'll have a bot in the open, you'll have a mech in the open, and they'll shoot at the one behind a mountain, even though they have no visual shot to it. So you just have to wait for them. It's not very smart AI, and it's kind of easy to get around. I'm probably going to boost it up till hard if I keep playing the game. I like Engines of Destruction in development right now. That shit is mega. I'll check it out. Dark and Darker problem was a whole different beast. Well, yeah, wasn't it that they took a bunch of assets from another company or something like that was under EA? I don't remember it exactly, but I could still absolutely see it happening. Sensor strength, grant visibility into rooms on your ship. Achieving an equal or higher sensor strength than the enemy sensor will grant visibility into the enemy. Well, right now I seem to be on top of everybody. So yeah, I mean, it's great shouting this guy out. Hey, you want Titanfall, so this guy's making Titanfall. But this isn't that this game is Concord. Right now what I'm hearing is that this game isn't Titanfall, not that it is Concord. Nox, what's going on, Nox? I did not care for Horses game. Oh, you've played it? We're gonna learn about it. I like learning about these kind of games. Even in tabletop RPGs, we learned about an incredibly racist one that I can't even remember the name of now. And we've looked at ethnic cleansing and a couple other ones. So I always enjoy going to these weird games that are out there. No, I just read about it because people kept telling me about it and how it was banned. Yeah, I saw that, and that's kind of what interested me in it. I just didn't pick it up at the time. And that's the only thing it has going for it? Okay. It's trying to make notoriety, huh?
the art anymore, or even the audience that they're supposed to be making games for. HighGuard takes absolutely no creative risks, none at all. The only thing that they're doing is just gambling with their own financial security at this point. This thing plays it as safe as humanly possible. It's just another PvPvE live service game wearing the skin of past achievements, trading almost entirely on, hey, remember what we used to work on? And it's like I said before when we first saw Concord. When a game introduces itself as from the former developers of, especially from studios like Bungie, Activision, or EA, that's basically become a red flag for me. Not always, there are some outliers, Embark Studios is an obvious one, but more often than not, there is a reason that they are former developers. And in this case, they couldn't even spot the warning signs in their own game, let alone stay in step with what players are actually into right now, or even learn from the pile of failed live service launches that we've already seen just this year. In their own studios as from the former developers of, especially from studios like Bungie, Activision, or EA, that's basically become a red flag for me. Not always, there are some outliers, Embark Studios is an obvious one, but more often than not, there is a reason that they are former developers. And in this case, they couldn't even spot the warning signs in their own game, let alone stay in step with what players are actually into right.
Like, what are the warning signs? Like, yeah, I can agree that hero shooters are kind of like out of the main target now, right? It's not a game that people are looking for. But what were they supposed to look at to decide that their game didn't work? He is a psyker. I just can't use this yet. Or maybe I have to be in here. All right. Let's get out of here. This just is rage that this guy left the company and didn't make Titanfall. Has nothing to do, again, with this being Concord.
Right now, or even learn from the pile of failed live service launches that we've already seen just this year. Honestly, the only
saying a former developer is only a knock if they were fired or pressured to resign, leaving in and of itself isn't a bad sign. Yeah, I agree, 100%. You know, they could have left for a multitude of reasons. They don't want to, they want to do their own creative push. But I tell you, this was the creative idea that they had in mind. If they're independent, they pretty much decided what they were going to make. What's the name of the? Let's look at it a little bit. Let's pop on here into reading. Let's see here. HighGuard. HighGuard game. Boop. HighGuard on Steam. I mean, they're publishing their own game. Like, this isn't a publisher deciding what to do. They're publishing their own game. So this is the game they wanted to make. It's their first game. It's going to be their debut game. Like, what? I don't understand that they're just like, yes, there are tons of hero shooters, but what, most of them are corporate slop, and maybe someone wanted to make a hero shooter that they wanted to play. Again, I'm not trying to defend this game on the fact that I think this game is going to be good. It doesn't look, the trailer didn't catch me, right? But it's going to take more than the trailer for me to decide if it's actually a failure. Like, just calling it a fucking Concord on this level is just people being retarded. All right, back to the show.
Only real risk that this studio took were all.
The real red flag was the amount of money from investors. Investors only invest in indie studios whose game has a money-milking mechanic, which generic live service games do. I can't believe they went this route.
All the wrong ones. They spent
yeah, and that's a problem. Like, when it comes to investors, that's why I have a lot of problems with Sandfall and Expedition 33, because while there's not like the direct investor, they are putting themselves in with Kepler, who basically supports you entirely through HR services. And on top of it, the owner or the head CEO of Kepler is a former He was a former worker or former employee and investor of Tencent. So, yeah, I was shocked actually. What were you shocked about? That it's crazy to me that a game can have 33 mainline titles. Wait, hold on, which game are we talking about? Oh, it'd be that a game can have 33 mainline titles. Yeah, okay. And why only the last one, all those awards? Oh, yeah. And there was, and the other 32 ones not good. I get that. Like, I think it's a timing thing in the human brain. Yeah, another Overwatch clone, but with horses. It has spears too, and I think swords and guns and other stuff. But yeah, I think it's a mental state, right? It gets them set like this is the big game, and it didn't help that Jeff was like, this is what we've been waiting for all night. This is the game. Like it's just Paladins again. It does take a lot of familiarities. I could see that now that you pointed it out. Well, like I said, this happens, I think, with genres in general, where when one hits, like Overwatch did, everyone makes almost a direct copy of that. Like you look at all of the hero shooters that have come out since Overwatch, and they all look the same. There's not like Apex, I would say, was close to the difference. And you also saw this with what are they called? Distraction shooters, right? Tarkov started taking off, and then you had 100 milsim clones. It wasn't until someone changed it with like Arc and some of the other ones that are coming out that it actually started to gain anything, because it's at least taking something and doing something original with it. I wish Sea of Thieves would hit so I'd have a shit ton of sailing games to play. You're telling me, bud. I still miss the idea of what Skull and Bones could have been.
4 years developing this game in total secret. No early footage, no tests, no public feedback, nothing. If they had shown anything earlier, and I mean...
Okay, did Sandfall do any of that, or did they just shadow drop the game? I'm pretty sure they just shadow dropped the game.
Anything. They could...
I mean, there was a small marketing thing, but they weren't showing a ton of shit.
Have gauged player reaction and course corrected. Instead, they went all in on blind confidence, dropped a reveal trailer, and then just announced a full release barely a month out, putting themselves in a completely unnecessary do or die situation.
And if this had been something unique, everyone would have been on board with it. But since it's not. It's the risk that they took with the game. Like, what are we talking about? This is like almost a direct copy to freaking Expedition 33. Like, what are we talking about? And it's just the trailer. We don't know what the direct launch date is, right? I'm guessing next year or 2027. I'm guessing next year, but I'm sure they'll show some stuff. I hope. I don't know. I don't know how they could course correct with this. I don't think that the game is going to do well just because it's so generic. Oh, and you can ride a polar bear too, K-Med. Don't forget the polar bear.
And I'm telling you right now, if you are making a live service game, you have to involve the audience as early as possible. You cannot afford to spend years and millions of dollars building something just to find out at the very end that nobody wants it. I mean,
that's any game. It doesn't matter if it's a live service or not. People can make live services really cheap and then, make shit tons of money off of it. Any game, you spend a lot of money hoping someone's gonna like it, right?
Creators did multiple closed alphas. They ran a beta well before the game even came out. Hell, even Marathon is out here involving players and has made visible changes based on their feedback. When I see studios that are skipping that step entirely, especially in live service, it tells me exactly who this game is being made for, and it's not the players. I realize that the developers for HighGuard are likely combing social media right now looking for feedback. That's a little bit too late, seeing as though your game's going to be coming out a month from now. Looking at social media posts, obviously, because they're probably a little bit too difficult to ignore at this point. and I hope you're listening right now. This is the feedback. This is the frustration of a real customer. Somebody that was a fan of Titanfall. I want you to know that the expectations set upon you are higher than that than AAA games. We don't expect shit from them anymore. We do expect more from you.
So I get it. AAA is shit. I really do get that AAA is shit, and that needs to be fixed. But again, like why have these higher expectations for just this indie company? Why does it have to be that way? Why can't we just let it get them make games? And I think there's a lot of criticisms for this trailer. A lot of criticisms. The dark music of the game, it makes the video topic sound like the end of the world. As long as you can still hear on it, I'm fine. If it drowns me out or anything like that, then I think it fits. It's grim dark out here. We got another another hero shooter dropping. Might as well be Exterminatus.
Escape that. We expect that you're going to be trying to make something that we're going to actually want. We're expecting more from your freedom to create, not from you just to go and make more of the same. If you're trying to figure out why people are so upset, why they're so quick to just toss your game to the side, that's exactly why. We know that AAA game studios are not looking out for our best interests. We know that they're not trying to make games for us, they're just trying to make games for profit. We have the expectation that those that are operating outside of that system are looking out for our best interests, that are trying to make games that we actually want to play, that are trying to do everything they possibly can. We need that light. We need that because it's our last thread of trust that a lot of people have in this industry right now.
Dude,
and if you betray that,
we're going to see, I feel like, in the next couple of years, like so many companies come in and die. I don't think the AAA industry is going to get any better. I think it's just going to be more of the same, just because they don't, they never change. They may try and do things better. Survivor +3. Oh, it's an engineer. I'll take an engineer. Let's go. I just don't see there being any big change for it, right? In the AAA industry. Maybe they'll learn and do some things better, but it's never going to be about learning what's actually going on.
That is a very real betrayal, especially in the eyes of a lot of players right now. And if we start seeing a lot of studios that break off from AAA just to go out and essentially continue to just feed the same system, well, you're now betraying the trust that other studios deserve.
So wait, hold on. These guys are coming out of companies that made slop. Why are you expecting them to do anything other than slop? Sandfall seems to be like a breath of fresh air because of what they are, but I think that has more to do with them being a boosted versus having the nepotism to be able to make the game that they wanted to make, right? And that's good. We should have more stuff like that. But if you think these guys who've been working in the industry forever are just all going to be the creative types that come out, you're wrong. Some of these people just want to make money, and live service makes a lot of money.
How did you think that these Temu designs would somehow draw in players? I'm blown away by that. How do you not learn from any of the live service failures that we've seen, not only just this year, but just over the past 5 years? And how do you guys go into secrecy, developing a game for 4 years?
I don't get the secrecy thing, right? I don't get the secrecy thing at all. Like, this is the vast majority of, I see, let's get out of here. It's the vast majority of games work in secrecy at some point. It's, you get into like the indie scene and there's exceptions, but that's like it's not the rule. That's not how it generally works.
And then just drop it into the market and hope it succeeds. This reminds me of Splitgate. Yeah, it reminds me of Splitgate. They had a really cool concept. They had their, arena shooter. People really enjoyed it. And then these guys sold out and wanted to be just like AAA, killed their original game, and then went and made a live service battle royale. We know what you're doing. We know what you want. We can smell you a mile away. We don't want to have anything to do with it. I've seen a lot of people already rushing to come and defend this developer and all the different developers that are working for them, trying to say that it's all fake outrage. It's just streamers and YouTubers that are feeding people their opinion.
Is this what they're saying, though? Like, he's not showing that. I think people are calling it a Concord 2 clone, and I think that is disingenuous to the shit that it actually might be. You know, the people are just, it's again making this disclosure with no choice. It's what you know, the Smash JTs, the Grumses, the other anti-wokers of these movements do. They say that they're there to you know, they see something that they can latch onto, and then they say things that get other people thinking that that's the way it needs to be, right? It just doesn't compute. We haven't seen enough to call it a flop yet. I'll absolutely think it's going to be, unless they show me something amazing, and I'll call it a flop and slop when it gets to it. But the idea that it's just going to be the absolute failure that Concord was, no, it'll probably be pretty unsatisfying, and it may not stay open but a couple of months to a year. We'll see.
Opinions based, by the way, as long as you're getting those opinions from the right people. That it's all just hate for the sake of hate. And what that ignores is that this outrage, or maybe not the outrage itself, but the frustration is not manufactured. It's not artificial. It is very real, and you have to be listening to it. And if this industry continues to dismiss it, if people continue to protect these developers, we're going to keep seeing this happen over and over again. And I think that's going to keep happening.
Regardless of what people think, it's going to happen all over and over again, right?
It's actually kind of wild right now looking around and seeing that most of games media is more or less in agreement on this, not defending the game, not running interference, just documenting what's happening. And honestly, that is refreshing. It feels like a rare moment where this industry is starting to remember who it actually serves, the players, not itself. But on social media,
until next week when they make a comment you don't like, and then suddenly the media is back to being as awful as it always has been.
It is a completely different story. You have people that are rushing to gas up these developers, telling them to just ignore the criticism, dismissing all the backlash outright. And once again, this feels eerily similar to Concord. I really started to notice it when I saw a post from one of the developers who had gone for...
You know, I could say it's more eerily similar to Splitgate, right? Because you're, you know, you have that idea of them saying that, well, they haven't even said what kind of developer they are, you know, why they made this game, any of that stuff. They're just proud to have made it. But where you're touting it up as you're going to make a great game, and then you put out absolute slop. It's more in line with Splitgate, I think, than it is with Concord.
Protected, constantly retweeting praise, amplifying a handful of positive.
Like, Concord failed because of a variety of things. Yes, the character models were generic and pretty awful. The game was trying to sell $40 on a, you know, free-to-play market, and then we all know they were going to start selling skins and other heroes and other stuff like that. So it's already at a loss in a saturated market that people didn't want, you know, to pay $40 to get into. And then the actual beta was just awful. None of the maps were unique. Nothing like that was unique. We haven't seen all of that with this game yet. We've seen the area that they're in for the main game, and we see the characters. That's it.
Takes feeding into this idea that the outrage isn't real, that people just need to calm down, stop reacting, and that none of this is justified. And then you got a handful of pundits that are out there that are piling on, openly patronizing players for just having opinions. One example that really stuck out to me was a former IGN writer, Fran Mirabella, who had posted a video criticizing...
This is something that all of these fucking giant vaginas do, where you're pundits going after them for, you know, for just gamers giving their opinions. Well, you know what? I have a right to fucking say that gamers have a shit opinion if I think a gamer or a YouTuber or anything has a shit opinion. And I'm telling you right now, Legendary Drops, Anti-Woke Light himself, has a shit opinion about it.
The reaction to HighGuard, first writing and openings.
But of course, I'm sure I'll get called a shill like all the others that get called shills for the game. The corporate, yummy kind of corporate fucking slop.
Saying, unscripted vent, exhausted by predictable drama gamer reactions over HighGuard. You gotta be pretty dumb to compare this to Concord and think that the gameplay is anything like it. Can we go back to playing games before we placed 50-50 bets on their doom and trashing the artist's vision?
My favorite part about this HighGuard stuff is that everybody talking about this nonsense with Concord has like clearly never played Concord and doesn't even understand the gameplay that they're seeing. There's a bit of hyperbole there. People are just overreacting, but like nobody played Concord, right? I did, by the way. But now they just want to listen to their favorite streamers and whine about, oh man, this looks like trash, bro. It looks so like unoriginal. What are you talking about? Yes, I definitely think you can see a lot of these Apex inspirations and all that stuff, but like this is clearly, you know, a PvP game with these PvE elements, right? You got all of these PvE elements going on, and it looks like what it's going to be, right? You can have these PvP clash points, you're trying to make it to the end, but you're doing stuff like, you know, blowing up buildings, setting off like reactors. You have powers or you're like smashing through stuff. You've got to get keys maybe to get through next sections. Like, it's not a bad idea. So like, I don't know what everybody's whining about without playing it, but I'm just so exhausted with, you know, that part of the gaming discussion at this point. It's just, it's ridiculous, man. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but you know, maybe we should play it and hear about people playing it first.
Yeah, I mean, that last part of it is, I agree with, is, yeah, maybe not play it, but let's see fucking more. If it's going to be just another shit game. And like I said, I think it's going to be, but that's me taking a judgment based off of the actual, you know, based off of the trailer, not off of any gameplay, not off of any characters, not off of any stats, weapons, whatever this PvE section is going to be, because I don't think any of the others have PvE in it, right? That was the whole big want for Overwatch, was a PvE section for it, but they didn't get that at all. So maybe this will do something different. Who knows?
First, before we start calling it Concord. And again, like, you gotta be pretty dumb if you think that this game is anything like the gameplay in Concord.
I love how fast all criticism gets dismissed, not just the trailer, but the audience itself. Just blame the streamers, blame the YouTubers, problem solved. And also,
God, all these I hate all these people that fucking cry that they're blaming the gamers. Yeah, it's fucking stupid when some retard says it's all the gamers' fault that this game failed, but I don't think that's what that guy said at all. He just said they're watching their favorite streamer and their streamers being negative, right? You can say that that's a dumb idea. I think that's a dumb you know, take. But to instantly say that it's basically like, you're attacking me, fucking energy.
Yeah, no shit, the people that are comparing the game to Concord never played Concord. Nobody played that game. Less than 25,000 people even bought it, and it was shut down in under a week. That should have been the lesson right there. When players decide that they don't like what they're seeing, they just don't show up. They didn't give Concord a chance, and if they're reacting the exact same way right now, the ending is already written unless you change it. And nobody played Concord. I did, by the way. What a line that is. Incredibly pretentious, by the way, as if that gives you any higher understanding of the reveal. This is a criticism about what was shown, and instead of just dealing with that, you immediately start jumping to talking about mechanics that the trailer never even explained. Keys, PvE systems, clash points, stuff that you're just filling in yourself because you feel like it needs to be there to be able to justify your point.
No,
then you turn around and tell the players...
All right, listen, you fucking retard. He's not saying that. He says you haven't seen anything about the fucking game. Like, how hard is that to be a concept, right? You can bitch about the graphics, you can bitch about whatever you want to bitch about, but what point do you actually have if you're not fucking looking at the actual gameplay of the game or anything like that? I don't think you have to Oh, Jesus. I don't think you have to play the game, right? The people who are like, you have to play it. If you're going to do a full-on review or you're going to do anything like that, yeah, I think you have to play it. But everything else, like, you can still get a vibe for if you're going to like the game or the mechanics of the game or things like that without having to play it. Like, you just need more than a fucking trailer. Oh, a cathedral ward. Nice. 2. Nice, nice. Oh, he has... What's he have? Tool. Movement speed is slower. That's fine. That's fine. I guess he's got to level up or something. I gotta learn how that works.
That they need to wait and give the game a chance? No, we don't need to wait. This was the chance. This was the moment where you got to show the people.
A trailer was the moment. Every game is dependent upon the trailer that it makes the, you know, that's it. We're never going to look at it again because fuck these guys because the trailer sucked. What a fucking statement. Like, just what a fucking statement you got there. Oh, we're getting somewhere.
People what the game was, and they honestly reacted in the way that you saw, and treating that reaction like anything else, treating it like it's illegitimate in some way, is exactly how we get games like Concord. Game developers, if you were watching,
like, we're talking about something that just happens, right? Reduces enemy DPS by 1, movement speed -5 health. Ugh. Okay. I see it. It's just, this is just dumb. This is just crying for no reason. Like, why not? I don't even know what to say.
watching this right now, do not under any circumstances ever listen to people like this. Do not listen to the people that are trying to protect you. Listen to the people that are trying to criticize you. Gamers do not always articulate their criticisms well. Sometimes it's going to come out cynical, hostile, even ugly at times, but it is your job to extract the signal from the noise instead of getting offended by it. I'm going to hit you guys with some pretty heavy truth. You are not just making art, you are making consumer products, something that is meant to be sold, played, bought.
Yeah, I guess what that means, live service, if it hits, makes a shit ton of money. So if they had one that hit because of this PvE aspect, they're hoping to make a shit ton of money.
Monetized and sustained. When feedback at this scale is so overwhelmingly negative, people that are telling you that it's fine or that the players are wrong are not helping you. They're not trying to save your studio. They are.
I don't know that people are saying that the players are fucking wrong. This is the retardation of this. They're saying wait. I'm saying it again, and I'm repeating myself over and over again. The grand criticism of people attacking you for being a gamer is wait and see, not base it off of a fucking trailer. Am I crazy?
They're setting you up for failure. The people that are rushing to defend you right now are not doing it because they care about your games. They are doing it because it makes them feel better, because it feeds their sense of moral superiority. You can hear the contempt in the way that these people are saying they are sick of the outrage, the way that they blame it on content creators instead of just engaging with the criticism itself. That is pure dismissal, and it is something that we have seen over and over again in this industry. Content creators do not create taste. We do not manufacture opinions. We amplify what is already there. We are a lightning rod for...
That's not true. Sometimes they can manufacture opinions that don't exist. We see that happen quite often. You know, I mean, look at the anti-woker thing. They manufacture criticism to hate about the game. Yotai is the perfect example of that. Just flat out making stuff up, and there are people that fall for it. But that's not here or there for this fucking question.
Public sentiment, not a source of it. And this idea, especially common in games journalism, that outrage content is what makes people popular, it's just wrong. It always has been. That stuff...
Are you, like... Has he taken a blow to the fucking head? Is he going like full anti-woke on me here? Listen to that fucking statement.
public sentiment, not a source of it. And this idea is especially common in games journalism that outrage content is what makes people popular. It's just wrong. It always has been.
Why is Asmongold one of the #1 YouTubers that's out there? It's outrage content. That's what he does. What is the whole anti-woke movement? It's outrage comment. Outrage for what was at one point a genuine fucking problem. Like, outrage content sells. It's always been that way, even before the internet. That's why news agencies show you the things that scare you, the things that should get you outraged. It's why politicians talk about the things that make you angry, so you'll be outraged about them. This is a toddler's view of the world from this point. Like, oh, you know, it's there is no outrage content. Fuck you.
That stuff never lasts. I do not tell people what
I agree, it never lasts.
to think. People do not take my word as gospel. They watch because something I am saying is lining up.
I hate to tell you, but yes, they do. The guy who sent me this video from you believes that gospel. It's not a if, and, or but about it. This is what they believe. Oh, I gotta get onto that ship. Let's go here. No, not you. You stay in. Big boy. You go. You get back over here. You go over here. You summon a horde of zombies right here. And then let's load everybody up. Send them right there. Oh yeah, there's only certain points that I can come in from. Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll do that one. Oh, why is it still big? Because I'm dumb.
Up with what they already feel. That resonance is what creates that audience. Not manipulation, not outrage farming, just recognition. And pretending otherwise is a convenient way for you to avoid dealing.
This is just him trying to explain his content and say that it's not. Oh god, I just lost that one dude. Recall. And then let's load a missile and fire it off. A husk, a survivor, a husk. I'll take that. One tactical exoskeleton. I like that too. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, he's just. Boom. Yeah, this is just. You're mad that people call you an outrage merchant. And while I don't think that's entirely true with at least some of your content, yes, it does sell. You're a retard if you think otherwise.
With why so many people are reacting the same way at the same time. This is just what modern customer feedback looks like.
Since you are going against gamers, or you're going against the narrative, because it's not really just gamers. There are other gamers who may have a different view on this. No, since you're going against my particular opinion, you don't have it right. Outrage farming isn't a thing. I know what I'm talking about and you don't. This is just, it's bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. You're mad that people are saying your opinion is wrong.
Like, it's loud, it's messy, it's uncomfortable, and if you don't learn how to deal with it honestly, if you hide from it, or if you just let other people explain it away for you, your game is going to fail and your studio is going to follow. The real danger here is not the players, it's listening to platforms and pundits that do not carry any of the risk, that don't ship the game, that don't rely on the retention, that don't eat the consequences when the players walk away. And we already have the evidence of this. There is a growing pile of failed games and shuttered studios that followed that exact advice, ignoring the backlash, dismissing the criticism, trusting these narrative managers instead of the audience. These people that gave the advice, they're just fine. The studios weren't. So if you're a developer right now,
you
understand
see how he's
this.
making all of these claims that are pointed towards this game. Like, he's just ranting about bullshit. Nothing, about the game itself. It's just this endless basic bitch anti-woke fucking they're not for you, they're against you, and this and that. Like, what about the game, besides like the trailer, do you say is, you know, what in the trailer, besides it being like the samesies, makes it Concord again? This is just a crybaby bitching that he didn't get Titanfall. And listen, I understand it. I wanted Titanfall. You know, I would go back to Titanfall even though I don't play FPSs anymore, right? I did something similar for Ark, where I don't play those type of games anymore, but I was interested in extraction shooters.
Clearly, listening to players might be uncomfortable, but listening to pundits who do not suffer from your game's fallout is how your games die. I've talked about this in a lot of other videos, but live service right now is an incredibly dangerous space to step into. I understand why
it's also an incredibly lucrative place to step into. You get a hit like Arc Raiders just did, and you're going to make fucking tons of money, as long as they can stand the test of time, right? As long as they can keep putting out stuff that the players want. But this is... I don't even want to bring it up, right? There is no denying the amount of money that can be made in live services, right? And if you're trying to build something new to bring people to, which I don't think is the best choice, right? Don't go into a saturated market. To bring it in, if you hit, you'll make a lot of money. If you don't, you'll lose a lot of money.
Studios are chasing it, the money, the visibility, the upside when it all works, but as this industry continues to get more crowded, as more teams step in to keep copy and pasting the same designs, as attention and spending get tighter, these games are going to come under harsher and harsher scrutiny and far more visceral backlash, and these guys are earning it. We have watched this exact thing happen in open world games. They were sold as the future of the industry. Every single publisher needed to have one. Then everyone also needed to have several of them at one point in time for some odd reason. And over time, the ideas dried up. The worlds got bigger than the actual games deserved. Everything started to just feel like busy work, and players just checked out of it entirely. Not because open worlds were bad, but because the industry wouldn't stop flooding the market with hollow versions of the exact same thing.
And this happens, like, yes, I agree, this happens, right? This happens even in the smaller markets in indie. If an indie game, like, look at Stardew Valley, and now you have 100 clones that come out every year to try and, you know, get that money. Like, this isn't a problem just with what was I going to say? Just with, like, the big AAA market. This is a problem everywhere.
That's where live service is.
Trend chasing has been a problem since, I don't know, gaming's been alive.
Right now, players are tired. Yes, there are successes.
We love indie slop trend chasers. That's right, we do here, Kimoji.
I'm not denying that. Marvel Rivals, Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, but look at where most players are spending their time right now. Older games, familiar games, things that they can trust, because the rest of the market is just imitation piled on top of imitation, and players can tell when something is actually being made out of the love for the genre or the audience. They know when that game is being made for their wallet, and once they clock that, they're gone.
The recent Steam Next Fest was legit 90% Vampire Survivor clones. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I even have one that is lined up that actually looks good that Nazmir sent. That's like, you play a big, a tall, beautiful necromancer who summons the undead. I mean, it looks basically like a Survivor clone, but I want to see how different it could be, because, I mean, I like necromancy stuff. Look at the first thing that I hired onto my ship, a necromancer named Tonat. Yeah, this is the games industry. This is any industry, really. You're gonna have people that are gonna chase the trends.
There is such an insane desire for players to be wrong today, and I find it so disgusting, because it's coming from a place.
There's not. People just think you're stupid for completely going Concord on a trailer. That's what people think. Concord had a lot, and I mean a lot, of red flags up until the point where it became what it, or up until launch, right? There was a ton of red flags. You have literally one red flag, the trailer. and we're already spouting off this nonsense.
Of pure entitlement and narcissism from an industry that has largely not had to deal with feedback.
Also, copying is not necessarily bad, because there's always an angle of the dev wanted to make a game similar to another game they liked. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you don't, like, out of the sea of the failed trend chasers, you can end up with a gem. Or like this game, for instance, is you know, like who was it saying? Nazmir was saying it's, you know, it's, or was it Nazmir? Let me go up here and see. Oh, it looks like FTL with mods, or it's a, you know, a more feature-rich FTL. You know, with a code of 40k paint. This is truly, like, I think, a really good game, because I would have played FTL and I'd be like, you know what, I would like to role play fucking yeah, it was Damage Sector. I would like to role play you know, 40k, which, funny enough, like, this game's still being updated too. They just put out the beta for Planetary Bombardment, so the game's not done in development, even though I'm pretty sure it's launched. So I mean, there's you can take something different and change it, and it sounds like HighGuard is going to try and change change it with a PvE element, right? I'm pretty sure I saw a pirate themed FTL too. Nice. I like it. I like that. Something different, something, you know, you can get your little mitts into and maybe enjoy.
Or pushback at this scale. And I've seen people talk about how gaming discourse never used to be like this, that it's all just Twitch streamers and YouTubers. That is such a lie. I worked at GameStop many years ago for like 4 years. I can guarantee you that these conversations have always been happening. They were just happening in private conversation and also in forums, but now they're on a public stage. They're plastered in front of everyone in glorious harmony and unison. And these guys just don't know how to be able to deal with that. You have to understand that players today will do anything they possibly can. They will say anything they can to make sure that the games they want to play come out and the games that they don't want to play disappear. I do my best to try.
Yeah, it's the whole thing that these guys argue all the time. Let the market decide. Well, you can give criticism. Like, I'm not telling Anti-Woke Light that he can't fucking have criticism. What I'm telling him is I can come back and say your criticism is fucking stupid.
Try to communicate in these videos that any of the topics that I discuss or how I even discuss them is never coming from a place of spite, usually. What I'm trying to do is make sure that the games industry understands this is just the nature of discourse today. This is the nature of customer discourse today. And they have to get it through their thick skulls that you need to be able to just face this, understand it, listen to it.
Shut up, and be happy that we're bitching about your game. Just shut the fuck up about us being unhappy with your game.
And then turn that into valuable feedback for you to be able to make games that people actually want to play. These are consumer products. If you're trying to make these things for just the sake of the art, that's fine. Don't expect to be able to make a profit off of it. I'm not saying that the art can't exist. Obviously, I want the art to exist.
So on one thing we're like, games are art, and then the next thing we're on like, no, it's all for profit. Like, what do you want? What absolutely could you possibly want from this?
I'm somebody that appreciates the art side of a lot of these games, but if you're just purely making it for the art, do not expect to make a profit. And definitely,
dude, fucking Expedition 33, while I have a lot of problems with Kepler, looks like it was made for the fucking art. Game developers are not generally just people that want to be in the industry. They're a lot of times gamers themselves that want to create something, especially the ones that run off and do their own indies. And part of that is creating art. So art that sells is different than art that doesn't. Like, if you make if you paint a picture that no one wants to fucking buy, that's fine. That's how it works. But you're crying about them making the game that they wanted to make, right? Whether it's for a corporate money-making reason, whether they thought they could change the trajectory of hero shooters, they're making the game that they want to make. And I don't think they're doing it for art. I think they're wanting to make a game that they want to make.
Do not prop it up with a live service model where you need constant engagement for your game to be able to stay up and for your studio to be able to stay open. I'm sorry, but looking at a game like, I almost said Concord, looking at a game like HighGuard, they sound the same. That is a game that's being made for profit. Pure and simple. Everybody can see it. You do not make a free-to-play game if that's not your aim. Everybody knows that. And artistry is definitely not the...
All people making a game in the game industry are making it for fucking art. Are making it so that they can make money. Yes, they want to see the game, you know, they want people to see their art and enjoy their art and things like that. I think any gamer or any game developer wants you to see the image of their game, unless you get into like the corporate bullshit where they're just copy pasting the same thing over and over again. But they have to make money, right? You want them to all be starving artists making the games you want to make, or
the aim for these guys, otherwise they wouldn't have made the characters look like they do. So I don't know what you're talking about there. My best advice for HighGuard is when this game goes to its release, make that a beta instead, and then push the release indefinitely until you can get a handle on what player feedback is, on what players are actually looking for, until you can actually get some heroes that people are actually going to be interested in. Now, I could be wrong. For some odd reason, this could come to release and it ends up being the best game ever because these guys just somehow found the perfect mix of mechanics and gameplay, I guess. I'm not really too sure, but looking at the state of the discourse, the feeling that I got from watching that trailer, this is looking like another game where I'm gonna make more money off of it than the game is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with game developers.
Awful video in my opinion. Just, yeah, same anti-woke slop you see all the time. Like, it's, we take the littlest thing and we just make a huge deal off of it. I don't, oh, of course I had it turned off while I was doing it. Like, it's, can we not be stupid and just repeat the same thing over and over and over again? Discovers a shrine within. Strangely, you hear the buzz. Oh yeah, we're definitely pledging ourselves to the god of death. Just why don't be like this. Just, you can have your dumb takes, obviously, I don't care, but I'm gonna call you a retard every time you come out with them. So that is Anti-Woke Light telling us how this game is Concord when all it really is he doesn't like the trailer because it looks like every other hero shooter, as a lot of us said watching the trailer the other night. Sensors destroyed, crew. Oh shoot. You suddenly hear rasping and shreds of throats. The dead are crawling out of the walls. Okay. Where's my other guy? Okay, I need you to summon some undead. Fight for the god of death. This is the husk. Oh shit. Oh shit. Get out of there. Get him. Get him. With the undead horde dealt with, you suddenly feel a wave of nausea. Your skin develops a sticky pallor, and your eyes weep with blackened fluid. You cough up a handful of your own teeth. I like it. Bone Shrine activated. Commander cannot rest for 3 jumps. Jesus. You tear open your shirt to discover a hideous rune carved into your chest. Maggots squirm in the open wound. A wound, not rune. Oh no, it is a rune. Never mind. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go get this shit fixed. Okay, what are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, is there 2 in there? All right. Engineer, I need you to start fixing shit like that oxygen that is destroyed, please. Thank you. I need you to go fix this. You can come help fix that. And you dum-dums are fixing it. There we go. There we go. Hey, what's going on, Trized? I hope I pronounced that right. We just finished watching Legendary Drops and his take on... Oh man, look at all these doors that are damaged. Can I fix these? Nope, I cannot. Command throne is unmanned. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. While we're playing some here from EGAD's endorsement. Nice. Well, welcome to have you over. Legendary Slops. I like Anti-Woke Light better. But yeah. So welcome in. We're about to move over to the next topic. And then maybe we'll do some Vera Dark. This is by Crit Croc. And all the videos that I watch are going to be down in the description for it. So if you want to go check them out afterwards. This includes the people I don't like. Or of the videos I don't like. That just tends to be what I want to do with it. But this one is about horses. The game too disturbing for Steam.
Scenes of physical violence, psychological abuse, gory imagery, mutilation, blood, depictions of slavery, physical and psychological torture, domestic abuse, sexual assault, suicide, and misogyny. The inclusions of these elements is intended to depict and characterize a fictional world and its fictional inhabitants. The presence of these elements is not an endorsement of them, nor do they reflect the beliefs or values of the creators. This game presents distressing and morally uncomfortable situations at times. Progression may require actions that may conflict with the player's personal values, including participation in oppression, coercion, or physical harm. Some scenes also feature unsettling sounds such as chewing and swallowing, which may be disturbing for players with sound sensitivities or related phobias. Character dialogue also includes references to psychological trauma that may be upsetting, especially for those who may have had similar experiences in their past. Player discretion is advised if you feel uncomfortable or upset while playing. Please consider stepping away and reaching out to someone you trust.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows?
Trust. The game opens with this, so fucking warning.
You go man the sensors.
Like Black Souls, we'd be fine.
Horses is an extremely fascinating game. Developed in 2025 and published by Santa Ragione Game Studios in partnership with Andrea Luco Borlara. And to say this individual was inspired to make something different is the understatement of understatements, with the game utilizing an extremely unique style of silent films, with how the camera moves, cuts, intertitles appear, and interdialogue is used. And the use as well of live action footage to intersplice between gameplay to give the game a completely unique feeling. Borlara pitched the game to Santa Ragione Game Studios as a surrealist cinema experience, and the publishers allowed Borella to develop the game in its entirety in his vision, a tale which is unwavering in what it was trying to showcase, and this unrestricted creative drive led the game to be in some hot water. With the game
this game already sounds really super niche.
recently being banned from sale on not only Steam but also the Epic Games Store, this is something that rarely happens, and this fact brought the game to my attention, and man, I am so glad it was, as this game is so fascinating. Horse opens with a prologue. We join the main character that we'll be playing as, Anselmo, and immediately we are placed in front of a gate. So
I could see where someone could like that because it's very old. I don't know that it would fit with me particularly.
We proceed to ring the bell. but no one answers. The gate itself just opens.
I've always felt really weird about like live action scenes in games too. It's just always been a thing that it just didn't fit for me.
And heading forward, we have this long, silent walk as the credits roll. Here we can find some interesting things though. We can find a tranquilizer dart on the floor, which seems to have been shot at something. And also, we can meet a bird. But more importantly, we can eventually reach our...
Are those sounds from the game? Whoops. Hey, we're on this one, so we'll go ahead and do a little shill. If you're coming into the stream and you haven't liked the stream yet, please like the stream. Helps me out in getting more people to see and potentially like my content. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Just for showing out all the fun. All right. Blah. Gaming.
Our final destination, the farm, and meet the farmer.
Anselmo, welcome. So nice to finally meet you. I've been waiting for a little while now. Tell me, did you have any trouble finding the place? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but it looks like you've managed anyway. So your dad's making you get a summer job, eh? Well, it's always nice having a little money in your pocket. Tell me, have you ever tried around at farm work before?
We're already going with, I just have nostalgia for all the weird games back in the 90s that were full of those. Yeah, and that's the thing. I played those games back in the day. I think of like Command and Conquer and things like that. And while I enjoyed those games, the cutscenes were more hilarious than they were, I guess, engaging in the game. So this is an old man talking to a child, right? I guess he could be 18.
Good. It's simple enough work. Anyway, you're just gonna help me around the farm. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time together. I promise. Come, let me show you around the property. Follow me, please.
So we were sent to the farm to work for 2 weeks, helping out to do odd jobs, being sent here by our parents. Why? Well, maybe for money, maybe they were going away and they wanted us to be out of the house. We don't know. But the kind farmer here will guide us into his humble home and show us around, eventually showing us our room, allowing us to settle in. And he shows us the rest of his home.
This is my room. Now please don't go sticking your nose around in there, okay, Anselmo? It's, how should I put this? Private.
Okay, it's private.
That's a red flag.
Interesting. There's definitely not something in there. But we now head outside to see the rest of the farm, starting with the veg garden, and we have to pick 2 carrots for him, obviously showing us how the game works. It's a very simple game.
Carrot.
But he has some more dialogue.
Wonderful, wonderful. Come on, I'm going to show you my horses now. Tell me, do you like horses?
Yeah, I think it's definitely meant to be repulsive.
Wonderful, wonderful. You're going to love mine.
And we get to see his horses. But before we see his horses, we meet his dog Fido. He looks like a good boy. But after that, we get to see the farmer's so-called pride and joys.
Oh no.
Police are sent to try and fucking make some
Oh no, yeah. I mean,
these are not normal horses. These are people in horse masks. And my god, what a fucking image they are.
These are my horses. They're my pride and joy.
like he didn't even need to, like at this point, he didn't even need to worry about like what's in the basement. This is fucked up enough. I'm guessing in the game this is uncensored. I don't know if he's censoring it or not.
Let's take a little stroll around the property. Go ahead. Get on the horse. Don't be shy, Anselmo.
Okay.
And now he allows us to ride one of his horses around the property, and despite the choice we are
Why?
given, it doesn't matter. We are forced to ride the horse even if you say no. And man, the horses here are such a powerful piece of imagery and item to have here immediately. And yes, they are a very symbolic visual in this game, but what they are actually meant to represent, I'm not going to completely outline yet. I hope as the video goes on, you'll slowly start to see what they actually are meant to be. As this is what the game does, it never actually tells you explicitly, it just slowly unravels what they're meant to represent. But having a ride on the horses, the farmer has a little something to say.
See that cabin over there? Don't go inside. It's off limits. Unless I invite you in, of course. Hey,
Unless
why
I
don't we have
invite
ourselves
you
a little
in?
race? Get ready.
Okay. Let's knock out those shields if we can. High beam. Look at. I would be disgusted if I didn't know these things already existed. Coal is so bad it got denied off every storefront. Coal? Hold on, this is a different game, right?
You won. Not bad.
Send me a video that's talking about that one.
The horses
Emoji.
did a good job, didn't they? You can reward them with the carrots you picked earlier.
Now we can feed the two horses the 2 carrots that we picked. In doing so, the day comes to an end.
I thought this
and
game
tomorrow
would be
will our
disturbing,
very
not a
first
comedy
day
game.
on our new summer job. God, we
I
are
mean,
going to be
it's
here for 2
definitely,
weeks with the weird man and his weird
disturbing
horses.
to some
That's
people.
all for today. We can start the real work tomorrow. Come on, tell me, what do you think? Are you excited about your new summer job?
Look at the teeth.
We now sit down to have some grub with the farmer.
Dude, those eyes.
I'm really glad you're here, Anselmo. I'm getting old, and the farm needs a lot of work. I can't handle it all myself the way I used to. Besides, it's wonderful to keep each other company, eh? While you're working during the day, while you're resting at night. Tell me, don't you agree?
Oh, why don't you run, kid?
Such a shame you'll only be here for 2 weeks. But who knows? Maybe you'll really take to it. Maybe you'll decide to stay with me a little longer. But enough talking. Come on, eat your dinner.
Definitely not creepy at all, but honestly, my mind goes to how
kinda
creepy
funny.
bosses in workplaces can be sometimes. The farmer here is our boss, and I'm sure many of you have experienced the great pleasure of having a creepy boss who works with you. The farmer himself has a level of power over our player character. He has the ability to affect our livelihood, and he almost implies that he's going to have more fun with us in some way, and there's almost a creepy sexual undertone to it. And man, I'm sure
Almost?
some of you have experienced this, especially the women out there. It's clear that the farmer is meant to represent the generic boss archetype character. Slightly disconnected, slightly creepy, but he has a level of power over you that you have to respect him.
It's
because
just
he
too
has it.
subtle.
But ignoring that, we now eat our dinner and can listen to some nice noises. Yeah, the game does this a lot.
Jesus.
But with the grub fully eaten, we are offered seconds, and even if we don't want any,
Up.
There we go.
we are given some. Oh shit, got more grub, better eat it up because it is very rude to not finish your plate and we do not want to displease our new boss. So we clean up our plate and we are quickly ushered off to bed.
We'd better get some sleep. Tomorrow's gonna be a tough day. Sweet dreams.
But during our sleep, we are woken during the night, and heading outside, we see something that is slightly unusual. A big cinema screen with all the horses sitting watching it. I definitely think this is a dream, but we find that one chair is vacant, so we go and sit down on it, and
You're
we can
becoming
watch
the
film.
horse. Thank God for that disclaimer, otherwise I'd really think the dev would be ironically into this shit, but he definitely isn't.
That don't seem right, does it? But it was all a nightmare.
Vosh
With us
needs
quickly
to
awakening,
play
we can
this.
head out and meet the farmer again in the kitchen.
We found his game. He can, he can be groomed into becoming a naked horse person.
Good morning, Anselmo. Did you sleep well? Like a little angel, eh? Here, I made you breakfast. Come on, enjoy your meal.
And we are given some breakfast to eat, some
Come on,
biscuits
come
and milk.
Let me touch you.
And more beautiful noises. But after finishing our grub, we have to feed the doggy. So let us grab the grub and give it to him. That's a good dog. But we now have some tasks that we need to do that were on the board. First of all, we need to water the veg garden, and the watering can be found in the shed. So we head out back to the shed and find a watering can. And taking the can and filling it up, we return to the garden and water the crops. Doing so pleases the farmer. Heading back to put the watering can away, that is not a piñata. The lion cannot withstand the CS skin market
Why is he getting so close to the cop?
crashing. And informing the farmer of what has happened, he is most displeased.
What? Oh no, not again. I'm sure he had to see an awful thing like that. Listen, here's what we're gonna do. Take the shovel from the tool shed and dig a hole in the graveyard. Then return to the tool shed and get the wheelbarrow. We'll meet in front of the
I mean,
tree.
this just seems
So we
like
need
your
to help
typical
him bury the
horror.
horse. So we head to the shed, grab a shovel, and then go to the graveyard and we
French
dig
horror.
a hole for the horse. But here we notice that there is a bunch of other
He
graves
almost gave
already
the
filled
body
in.
a fellation. And now we see why he was kicked off of Steam.
Contrano, Bojack, Mama, Papa, Bianca.
And some of these names we have already heard before, such as Fido the dog, but the dog is alive, so how could the dog be dead and alive at the same time? Did he put it in a box and it's dead and alive at the same time? Or is it the two different dogs that he named the same name? It's kind of weird to name a pet the same name as another pet because it's
gas
just weird.
bombs.
It just is. So this either points to the farmer being insane or one of these Fidos is not a real Fido. But having dug the hole, we run back and
Or
grab
they're
a
all
wheelbarrow
Fido.
and put the body of the horse in the wheelbarrow. And now we can take the body over to the hole and put it in the hole, covering it up.
Thank you. I'll take care of the rest. Well, not exactly a good start, eh?
And now we move along to day 2, and the same thing ensues. We can head and eat our breakfast, or not, and heading outside, the farmer greets us, so heading over to him, he shows us the task board, something that we should refer to each day, to see what needs to be done. But he does warn us about something.
On the right side, there's a list of male horses. Now, Anselmo, listen carefully. Fornication among these horses is strictly prohibited. If you see any of the horses fornicating, tell me immediately, eh?
What?
Male horses are
That's bullshit.
Primo, Vento, Agro, Poldo, Gramo, Galopolem, Fritz, Aquilante, Bozzolo, and Orto.
Okay, so we can't let the male horses have sex with the female horses. Then why are they in the same pen then? Wouldn't it be easier to separate them? I guess we shouldn't question him, he's the expert of course. But we should keep our eye on the horses to make sure they're not doing this. But with a graveyard marker obtained, we go to the grave that we dug yesterday to go put it on, obtaining the name of this horse, Artax. But once we reach it, we find there's someone at his grave mourning him.
A female. Anything else?
The white horse
Kiss
requests
them.
from us 5 flowers, so we quickly grab 5 flowers and lay them down on the grave. In doing so, we honor
Jesus, I haven't been
Artax,
paying attention.
allowing him to actually get somewhat of a funeral. But now we move along to day 3. Day 3, more of the same. Grab some brekkie, feed the dog, have a nosy at your tasks. Okay, feed the dog, done that. Get some vegetables, feed the horses, simple enough, go do that. Oh, that isn't actually Fido. Fido was a real dog, most likely, the dead one, and with the dog dead, the farmer probably turned a person into a dog, named it Fido, and believes it's the same dog. So, yeah, it's just as weird. But we need to go feed the horses. Oh, the horses are fucking. Well, we can't stop it, so we should just continue with our tasks until the farmer returns home and
We
inform
never
him of
confirmed
what
that.
happened. Feeding them, grabbing some veg from the garden, and doing all of our tasks. Eventually, the farmer will return home, and he obviously asks us the question that we've all been waiting for.
Good morning, Anselmo. You finished your morning
another one
chores
down.
already? Hey, wonderful. Magnificent. Bravo. So tell me, do you happen to notice if any of the horses were fornicating?
Now again, we are given a choice. Tell him the truth or lie to him. But honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a lick of difference. We can either inform
Man,
him
we're
that the
not.
horses did it and tell him the truth about which horse did it, or we can lie and tell him not, or lie about which horse did it. It doesn't matter in the end. It doesn't make any sort of change. Trust me, I tried to see if there was a different ending for this game. There isn't. None of these choices actually matter. But if you do tell him, he marks
Oh,
an X
no.
next to the horse that you said was doing the fornicating. But after this, we of course have some dinner and a little chat with him.
Looks like you've got mail. Come, why don't you read it after dinner?
And he has a letter for us that is already open, and we can learn a bit more about our protagonist. Now, my dumbass accidentally skipped through all of it, but it's very important as we learn a lot about our character. So Anselmo is 20 years old, so he's not actually a child, and we have 2 letters here, one from his father and one from his mother. The first one is from his father, with him being extremely worried about him not taking
think we're gonna
responsibility for his life, having wasted an entire semester doing nothing. So
Yep.
he forced him into getting this summer job for his own good. And the next part is extremely stereotypical dad talk. Finally learn the meaning of true hard work. Start acting like a man. Do your duty and get your head out of the clouds and out of your ass and do some good work and
You
not be
better
a
be careful.
disappointment.
You
to
better
your
be real
parent.
careful with your ass.
It's extremely basic macho dad talk that doesn't help at all and just makes probably Anselmo here feel even worse about himself because he's being forced to become someone that he doesn't feel like he actually is. This is textbook toxic masculinity. Personally, I think toxic masculinity is a bunch of bollocks, but there is a level to it where it is a bit too far. The idea of being a good man and knowing what a hard day's work is, I think it is extremely fucking stupid. And this is another theme that seems to be popping up throughout this game, the idea of authority and the older generation. It's no secret that older generations hate younger generations, and the younger generations feel that they are not loved by the older generations. They feel like they are a failure in their eyes. And this letter is directly outlining this completely. The father is obviously an authority figure to Anselmo here because it's his dad. Of course it is. So he feels like he does want to please him. He does want to prove himself to his father, but obviously whatever he's been doing hasn't been proving himself to his father. But the second one is from his mother and
That's
is
a lot
way more
of-
positive. Wishing Anselmo the
that's a
best
lot of
and
deep
a
lore.
happy 20th birth and hopes that he doesn't work too hard at the farm and that he enjoys the experience, especially being outdoors all the time. But she informs Anselmo that his father threw away his insect collection, much to the arguments of his mother, but she apologizes for this and wishes him the best. Parents or authority figures viewing the thing you are passionate about or a waste of time, and it's not going to get you anywhere in life, which, man, that is a very common thing. It's kind of funny how passion sometimes can often lead into something that not only brings in money, but also brings a great deal of happiness to people. Passions and things that you enjoy should never be looked at and laughed at and told that they're a waste of time. If they make you feel happy, they're worth doing. That's what I believe. Happiness is something that's extremely difficult to come across nowadays, and having something that you're passionate about and really enjoy doing is important to have. So my words are, don't ever give up on your passions. I didn't, and I'm sitting here now making a video about a weird horror game about people in horse masks that I found cool, and guess what? I will make some money off of this video. It's crazy, innit? I know. Keep your chin up. You're getting there. Keep going. But with us reading the letters, the farmer makes it clear that he read the letters, telling us that he also had some problems with his father.
Shh, I didn't read it.
What a rant that
Everything
was.
okay? You know, I used to have a little trouble with parents too. My father, well, he never understood
read our
me.
letter.
He was always very, how to put it, harsh with me, ever since I was a kid. So we had this little dog. He started misbehaving as he got older. He would run around and, how should I say this? Rub himself on everything. Blankets, pillows, absolutely anything.
What?
And one son.
I'm starting to think the narrator is the game's dev. There is a lot of passion behind it, I feel like.
At our parish, after Mass, he tried to, you know, rub the priest's leg in front of everyone. I laughed because I thought it was funny at first. But then, that afternoon, my father castrated him. He made me hold the dog down while they cut it off. Poor little thing. He screamed like you wouldn't believe. No, come now. I don't need to bother you with stories like that. Everyone has a little trouble with their parents growing up, eh? Come. Go get some rest.
I don't know that... I know that a lot of people have problems with their parents making them watch them neuter a dog.
So the farmer seemed to have a very hard upbringing, with him going on about a dog who went around humping things, which led to the dog, of course, being castrated. And this event probably traumatized the farmer as a young boy and explains what he's doing now and why he's so absolutely just odd. But now we move along to day 4. And we hear a smashing noise immediately, and going outside our room we can find a bottle on the floor smashed. And guess what? There is no breakfast for us.
Oh, that's the biggest crime.
What the fuck?
But heading outside, we hear barking, and heading out to the horse pen, we find that some of them have escaped, so we need to run around corralling them.
What happens if the dog gets caught fucking a horse?
And put them back in the pen. But eventually we will find one is completely missing, and no matter how much you search the backyard of the farm, you will not find it. But heading out to the front road, you will find that the fence is broken and there are footprints running out. So tracking it out down the road, we will eventually find ourselves back down at the entrance gate. And we find the missing horse. But not only that, there's another horse on the other side of the gate.
This is something else. Okay, why are we not? Okay. There we go.
Freedom. These horses desire freedom. But before any more words can be spoken, we cut to day 5. And again, no brekkie. So heading out, we have one task. Meet the farmer in the backyard. And
And he's whipping a horse. You already showed this scene.
This isn't the first time this bitch was able to open the fence. So, I have to teach them by being a little mean. It's the only way these horses understand. Anselmo, do me a favour. Get me the cotton and hydrogen peroxide from the bathroom cabinet.
well, he's beating the white horse for her escaping, and he wants us to clean her up. So we head to the bathroom to grab some medical equipment, and bringing them to him, he asks us to disinfect her, as he has visitors coming later. Doing so, the white horse thanks us, and after that we head off to dinner immediately, and we eat a whole goddamn chicken.
So do you get fatter?
After finishing up the chicken, the farmer again has something to say to us.
You know, I'm proud of my horses, but every now and then, some of them don't act like good horses should. And it's up to me to, how should I say this, get them back in line. You might have already noticed that crossed-out name on the board. That's Fiero. He's a black horse with a white blaze and some markings over his eyes. He managed to escape a long time ago. I don't know how, but he still lurks around nearby. He hides in the forest outside, and sometimes he even tries to sabotage our farm. No, that's not how good horses act. Tell me, have you ever seen him, Anselmo?
He mentions the horse that we saw on the other side of the gate that reached freedom, and he asks us if we ever saw the horse, and we can either lie to him or tell him the truth. Again, it really doesn't matter. It's clear these horses don't want to be here, so I think that we shouldn't trust the farmer at all. But it's clear the farmer is
like this guy has like the best takes. Like we just walked into a bunch of people with horse masks on, but it's not until this moment that we realize that the farmer is the bad guy.
Controlling them in a way that is preventing them from achieving true freedom. But before any more words are spoken, day 6 rolls around, and this time we actually do get some brekkie. Consuming it, we then feed the dog, of course, and today is cleaning day, as visitors will be coming soon. So we need to clean out the pen, collecting any manure in it and disposing of it, and then wash the horses down, as they of course have visitors. So we do that, and washing the horses down is very reminiscent of an event in history. It just reminds me of the Holocaust. It does, because the prisoners were often just hosed down, especially when they were eventually killed. They were hosed down to disguise it as them having showers. But having done all the cleaning, eventually our visitors arrive, and it's an older man and a lady. And the lady picks out a horse to try. Picking it out, we take her to the large field to allow her to actually ride the horse, and she has a bit of a chat with us, and rather ominously, she wishes something upon
the farmer. He does what he does, and my father, well, my father makes sure that his business opportunities keep growing. It's simple in this world.
These are all beautiful
this
character
farm.
designs.
Everyone who lives their life recklessly and indulgently ends up exactly where they deserve. Do you know what I mean? You're a smart guy. Thanks for the ride.
Thanks for the ride.
I hope you get to live your
I think she
entire
likes you,
life
bud.
as a human being. Good luck.
Oh, God. Apology, I missed this.
To me, this is when it became abundantly clear that there is a clear theme of class division within this game. The horses are meant to represent the average person, forced to work hard, boring, laborious jobs which have no fulfilling properties to them, controlled by their authority figures, their bosses, the farmer, the older man, and the lady. They are handed around person to person like workers are from company to company, trying to find a good working environment just so that they can live their lives. Even the idea of the pen they are held in can represent the amount of resources they own as a collective, while the mega
This
rich...
is like, it's weird because this is coming from a guy who actually likes this game, apparently, versus somebody who'd be breaking it down for what it is. Kino Academy Awards voice acting, fair play.
own far more than them. The farmer owns the whole farm. Most of the workers own just a small amount of land, maybe just their houses, or maybe even just a car. Sometimes it's not even that, sometimes that's fucking financed. It represents a wealthy businessman owning far more than the average person. How there's a massive power imbalance there, with these people having so much money over these people that they can control them completely. But even doing this, the amount of land that the horses have access to them, they can't improve their lives in any meaningful way, as once they try to step out of that land and maybe try find new land, build their own life up, they are punished for doing so. Kind of like how we are in our lives, where if you try to leave your country, you can't. It's almost impossible. But the farmer has all the land to do what he wants. He can grow his own food.
I thought I was being sarcastic with the over-analyzing, but now I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm with you there. Like, he's going deep into it. I was expecting something different out of this. Oh, man. Like, bud, it's okay.
Has a graveyard, has a massive field that he plows hay from. He has all these spaces that he can make so much money from, but he doesn't share any of it with the horses, occasionally giving them some carrots or food for them to eat each day. But again, it's clear there's a massive division in the wealth here. That's a clear point this game is outlining. And over the next few days, it will put further emphasis on this point.
Could they do it without horsecock and be able to get onto Steam?
Of authority and the power they have.
Like the horsecock kind of is what, well, it's not even horsecock at this point, right? The nude people, I guess, is to unsettle you, but I feel like you could have gotten this message out without that.
Over the general population. But with us quickly completing our tasks around the farm and then eating our dinner, the farmer of course talks about the future of the farm itself.
And so today marks the end of your first week. Wow, you're already halfway done. We should celebrate. Let's drink. Come on. Let's have a toast. Here's to a new work week. May it be a little quieter than the last one. Wonderful. Bravo. Another. You know, I've been thinking lately. I'm getting old. I'm starting to wonder what's going to happen to my farm when I'm gone. I don't have anyone to leave my horses to. No one to take care of them. Come on. Don't listen to an old man rambling. I think
He wants you to
I'll
take
stay here and
over.
have a couple more drinks. You go get some rest.
Almost like a businessman passing down the business to another person, not someone who actually deserves it and has proven themselves and can actually work the business well, but someone who is basically gifted it. They had good connections to the farmer, they were able to have an in to the company and got in very easily and climbed the ranks extremely quickly. But after that we are ushered off to bed, but again we are awoken in the middle of the night, and heading out we can find the farmer's room door is swung wide open, and entering it we can find some very interesting things within. Case in point, these pictures that he seemingly drew, I'm guessing when he was younger. One showing him with his parents, and then a second one of a woman called Bianca who he seemed to be very fond of, which I think is very obvious by the rather big cojones he's drawn on her. But unfortunately Bianca was in love with another man, a man called Primo, and again he saw them having sex, which turned into him going insane, and then he turned both of them, Bianca and Primo, into horses, and one of his alive horses at the moment is called Primo, and one of the graves was labeled Bianca as well. So the farmer was heartbroken as his crush chose another man. The literal meme of "why do guys only want stupid jerks that treat him like shit" meme. But it's clear that he is extremely unstable and he is willing to do anything to get anything that he wants. But heading outside, we see the farmer is wearing a rather different outfit, and following him outside we see him in front of the horses with his dog, and
Oh. What even is this? Why is he showing so much of it? Okay. That was something. Is that, yeah, it's a chastity belt.
he has his
So I don't
dog
even know what he's
rape
doing.
a female horse while he rubs himself. Okay, so obviously it's quite the shocking moment, but it's a very smart use of symbolism here. The farmer, when drunk, when he indulges in something more sinful, in the eyes of some, he becomes a horse. A horse is meant to represent the average man. He turns into what he actually is, someone that's like anyone else. He is not above anyone else. However, the one difference the farmer has is that he's wearing a chastity belt, something that prevents him from actually having sex. So even though he is just like everyone else, he is preventing himself from doing these acts as he knows that he shouldn't be doing it with the likes of these people. Even though that he is just like everyone else, he believes that he is above others. So he has his dog, his closest companion, whatever, rape one of the horses while he watches it in enjoyment. He enjoys controlling people and making them do things that make them uncomfortable. Also, cuck chair, whatever. Again, this is very
I would've
clearly
gone for the
a play
cut
on
chair.
how more powerful people will set people on one another for their own enjoyment or to display their power, control over each other. The dog is just like the horses, again, but it has a little more respect from the farmer, so he basically allows the dog to do what it wants with the horses. The dog is kind of like someone that's given more power by the government, the police, the military, politicians. These people can do crimes, actual crimes, and they get off scot-free because they have more influence and can weasel their way out of it. If you want an example, think of during COVID. Everyone was forced to be in lockdown, but Downing Street, they all had a nice party while we were all sitting here waiting to see our family again. Or you have police that often use excessive force. They get suspended for 2 weeks. It's a 2-week holiday, basically. They can come back and they can rejoin the force. It's these like slap on the wrist things that happen, but it's almost like the more powerful authority figures are encouraging these behaviors.
This is a different kind of woke
And
game.
of course, if you want to talk about the dog, we can also dive into something like the authoritarian personality, which there's a lot on it. I'm not going to go into it in psychology, but there's many studies about how perceived authority figures can influence other people into doing things that make them extremely uncomfortable. We don't know if the dog is enjoying what it is currently doing right now, but it could potentially feel like it's forced to do this thing because
that's like
the
the
farmer
whole...
has a level of power over him. But the farmer himself not dirtying himself by playing with the horses is again a class divide being shown. How despite him enjoying the sight, him physically pleasuring himself, he physically enjoys it because brother gets off to it. He doesn't want to stoop down and play around with the filth. He doesn't want to get down and dirty with them. But also, it might be that in his mind, he's maintaining his purity. He is being good by abstaining from this act, but he is still engaging in a sexual act. He is a complete hypocrite in his beliefs. He isn't any better than anyone else, even though he views them.
So he's a priest? Is that what they're trying to say? Let's go with 25 scrap. I need to like improve my guns. There we go.
Always below him. He is even worse as the people he is punishing because he is engaging in these activities and not being punished for it, even though he views them as a bad thing. He is again just another horse in this world. But now we move along to day 8. Now we see the farmer having a hangover, so we just need to do our tasks around the farm. But heading out immediately outside in the back garden, we see that the horse that they were raping died. And going back to the farmer to inform him, he calls the vet. What's happened to her? Poor creature. That man is up to no good again, isn't he? I need you to get something so we can move her to the tool shed. Helping the doctor with the body, he gives us something to give to the farmer, a cryogenically frozen piece of genetic material. Interesting. But now we leave the doctor to get on with his work and give that thing to the farmer. With giving that to the farmer, he asks us to go check on the doctor. So now we go see how the doctor is getting on.
Talk.
Just a second.
Just a second.
The doctor very clearly raped the horse. This individual was used and abused by all the authority figures that came across her within her life, and I think this is a bit of a smart reflection of workplace sexual assault and also hospital sexual assault. People who you are meant to trust non-consensually touching or doing worse to you, and this is a far more common thing than people realize, especially in hospitals, and of course is extremely common in workplaces. There are hundreds of thousands of cases reported each year about these cases, and they're never dealt with the way that they should be dealt with. But even when something like this is consensual, when you have a procedure that is consensual.
Yeah, I don't know that I've heard this. Oof. Oh no. Get in there. We may already be dying again. You. I guess we're gonna meet in the same room. Boom, you missed it, bud. Go help him. Auto fighting, keep fighting. Oh, if this can just shoot whenever. There we go. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Like it's both this and that. The movement hasn't already been decided ahead of the space rupture. Increase the game difficulty. Sure, why not? like, I don't know. He may be pulling at straws here.
You often start to feel like not a human, but a thing that is being studied, and this is something I myself felt. When I was going through my issues with my ulcerative colitis, the doctors often feel like there is a disconnect between you and them. Sometimes it's like they're not looking at you as a human being, but just a thing to be studied and prodded. It's a really weird feeling, and I know it probably wasn't intentional or meant to be like that, but the way that they speak to you, the way that they talk to you, the way that they honestly handle you, it feels so dehumanizing and uncomfortable in how it's done. It's not done tactfully or honestly respectfully. It's done efficiently and forcefully in a way, especially in what I had to have done to me. And I think the doctor embodies this. The horse had no one there with her as she was being examined, and he did whatever he wanted to her, and I believe he raped her. And after he finished up with the horse, he probably killed her to cover his tracks. But after that,
it's really not anything major with Veridark. I forget exactly what the video was. Let's see here. Oop. Oh, no, it's not here. I'll pull it back up. When I say Vera drama, it's just me talking about Vera. Nothing like she's not done anything crazy, we'll say. Da-da. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Edit title, description. It's about the Naughty Dog crisis and Crunch and all of that that I wanted to talk about. Because Crunch, like, they're pretending that Naughty Dog is such this awful company because they do Crunch. And while I don't like Crunch, and I think it's a problem that's been in the gaming industry for a while, it's another thing where they're pretending that it's just something that happens.
In fact, we move along to day 9, with the farmer requesting us in the tool shed, as he needs to punish someone for the death of that horse. Not the doctor, not himself or the dog, but a random horse.
It was him. I know it was him. He probably fornicated her to death. That's why she died. They know fornicating is forbidden. They know good horses don't do that. But no, they do it anyway. They keep making fun of me. They like humiliating me, disobeying me. Well, I've had enough. This horse won't fornicate anyone again. Come on, hold his legs open.
Boop.
Do it! Now!
And we are forced into helping him castrate a horse that didn't do anything, but someone needs to be punished for what happened. Again, this could tie into how workplace misconduct is often swept under the rug or not dealt with properly. And man, I've heard stories about this and how it's often
not handled properly. We'll give him a little 24. He only has 2 users. Sometimes these cases get way overblown. So someone's older alt, I guess?
Everyone gets pulled into it some reason, and it becomes extremely messy with the story getting confusing and multiple layers and different angles coming in that just don't interlink and make sense, and somehow someone who didn't
I think that's because this game is just supposed to be fucking weird. Like I don't know what deeper meaning they're getting at it. Seems strange of him to troll on a 10-year-old account. Yeah, it's very weird. You always get them. Excuse me, you always get them though. Usually people sock to do that. I mean, it could be. I've heard of people opening up sock accounts and just holding on to them. I think Nobody is one that he's got sock accounts that are pretty old.
Anything at all gets villainized in the case, and after the fact of whatever happens from the higher ups and them trying to clean it up, it's always the regular folks that are left in the end to clean up afterwards, like us cleaning up the blood after we castrated the horse, from washing away the evidence, and this blood literally represents the memories of everyone as time slowly moves on and the story gets blurred and fades away, and the higher ups often don't ever get to an actual conclusion and figure out what happened. But castrating the horse, if you want to know what that is, I don't know. It could be generational trauma. The farmer is passing down his trauma to us because he saw his dog get castrated, so he's doing the same for us, but this time with one of his horses. Could be that, or it could be him physically removing a freedom from this horse. Sex is very clearly being used as
I mean, or he could just be fucking insane.
It's a symbolic thing of freedom in this game. The horses showing that they want it, doing something that they're not meant to. It's a direct action against the authority they have, showing that they do have freedom and they are punished for doing this. Him doing this could be like putting someone in jail or doing something more drastic against a person to control them. But after cleaning up the whole mess and crime scene, basically, the white horse appears in the shed.
I want gift to you.
Uh-oh.
Feel good with mouth, you want?
Oh, God. Full Metal Jacket.
And she offers a service, a sexual service, some head, and you can choose if you want it or not. I think getting it is probably what is meant to happen, as again, sex is being used as a physical metaphor of freedom, with the horses being the ones to do it, desiring it and doing it against the will of the farmer. It's clear it's a rebellious act of freedom. But us choosing to receive it shows that we also want to be free from the farmer and his tyranny. But also it's consensual. If you
That's some deep blowjob lore, then.
say no, the white horse will respect your wishes and not force herself upon you. But also the white horse wants to do it. That is the difference as well. Each time we've seen sex happening, it's probably been non-consensual. And often the times where it's been forced upon, it's been forced by older, more influential people like the farmer or doctor. But Anselmo here really does enjoy it. At dinner, the farmer now talks about a girl that he fell in love with, obviously now tying into the white horse, because this is meant to indicate to us that maybe Anselmo is falling for the horse. Someone that he is not meant to fall in love with.
Anselmo, tell me, is there a girl you like? I liked a girl once. She wasn't very, how shall I put this? Nice to me.
Oh, God. Trized, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, man. This guy would make a 20,000 word essay about a banana taped to a wall.
But I love...
Or what, the fan that was put there by the artist who had AIDS.
her anyway. In the end, she chose the path of sin. Remember that, Ansi. People will always disappoint you. You're a good young man. You'd never disappoint me. I'm sure of it.
Video essay, the castration represents freedom being removed from you. Oh, oh man.
It's Bianca, and her path of sin was choosing someone else that wasn't the farmer, displaying a level of jealousy that the farmer has, and it outlines a dangerous way of thinking that some people have about other people. They can become so obsessed with someone else that they can't understand that that other person doesn't want them or doesn't love them, and this leads to them villainizing other people. And in this case, with him saying that it was a path of sin, he villainized not only Bianca but also Primo, a completely innocent man who just wanted to develop a relationship with another person. I'm sure some of you know people that have done this to other people. And yes, she did become one of the farmer's horses, which is what he did to her. That's his punishment. But now we move along to day 10 with no tasks on the board. So we wander out back and find the farmer.
Oh dear, that little eunuch out there isn't working.
No.
Go to the field and make sure he gets back to work.
And one of the horses in the field has stopped working. So we head over to the horse to find out what's going on.
I mean, he just got his cock chopped off. How would
So
you
we have
feel?
to get him to get working again, and Fido has come over to help us, and he gives us a choice of two things: either choosing kindness, giving him some food, or violence, using a tool to hit the horse to get it back to work. And to get the horse working again, it doesn't matter how many times you give it carrots, the horse will refuse to work for the carrots. You have to hit the horse with the tool that the dog provides.
And
if
this
you choose to
is a representation of how lazy the working force is, and that you just need to beat them so that you can get the job done.
not take the horse whip or the leather whip thing, Fido will eventually give you a club. to just club the horse with. And I think this is a really just bizarre link that I thought of, but to me, if Fido and the farmer are, say, the bosses, let's say the farmer is the top boss and Fido is a manager, let's say. If the horses are the general workers, the carrots could be reflective of the shit benefits that companies give you for working for them. Pizza nights, 10% store discount, a mediocre staff dinner, all these things that don't actually improve the workers' livelihoods.
The carrots are the carrot is the bonus that gives you 2% gas back with all your purchases.
Meaning it won't encourage them to work more,
which goes
is what
gas.
the carrots represent. And the more aggressive action, the hitting of the horse, could be the more aggressive actions that sometimes managers threaten if you don't work properly. Being fired, written up, suspended, without pay, docked pay, whatever it is. This will get people to get back to work almost immediately for a short period of time. It isn't a complete change, but it's an effective way to get people to work for what they need. Money. People need it, so they're not going to throw that away. But
Jeff Bezos sending the whales to the castration room after failing to meet warehouse quotas. That's so real, Kamuji.
Was back to work. We head back to the farmer and he informs us if he's going to leave out and hit the town probably. So we need to get some tasks done as he's out. But we don't actually need to do any of them.
Yeah,
we
this is
only
what
need
media
to meet
literacy
the
does
white
to your
horse
brain.
today,
It's just
or Linda is
little
her
much
actual
there,
name.
bud.
You came, you, nice, you. Help us. I show you my friend.
Okay, I need you to go save him. I guess you can't, maybe. The brick. Oh, there's gonna be a cock.
Linda says, you can help us. I want free the others. We have a plan, but we need your help. We must be free. You will help us. You do two things. Find something sharp, follow the wall, make a hole in metal fence. Put this in dog food, sleeping pill. It'll work. Come back when job is done.
Fiero, the black horse that escaped, has a plan to free the other horses, but he needs our help first, so we need to make a hole in the fence so we can get in. So grabbing some cutters from the shed, we can quickly make a hole. But also we need to put some sleeping pills in the dog's food, so he will fall asleep at night. Then doing both those things, we head back to tell Fiero that we have finished, and we move along to the night.
Move along to the night, huh? So, you know, we're the middleman. We're not quite the rich in this movie, and we're obviously not the poor. So only the people above the poor could possibly help save the poor from the sexual I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Go.
If you couldn't see, the dog was still awake, so he didn't eat the food. But day 11, we head out and there are no tasks on the board. But heading out towards the pen, we see
We failed. Forgive me.
Fiero has been crucified and failed saving the people, and heading inside the tool shed, we find the farmer, the dog, and Linda.
They tried to take all my horses. Fiero and this filthy slut. They killed Fido. They poisoned him, they did. There's no more room in the graveyard to bury him. Anselmo, hand me the saw.
Well, seems Fiero killed the dog and the farmer cut the dog up, and we have to dispose of the dog. Now, if you don't put the sleeping pills in the dog's food, it still dies. And I think Fiero just killed the dog no matter what. So it honestly doesn't matter. But throwing the rubbish out, we hear banging coming from inside the farmer's truck. And opening it, we see there are more people who the farmer has kidnapped to turn into more horses, which is 100% confirming that the horses are actual people and not mutant creatures.
What? Why would you think that they were mutant creatures?
That are just abominations of this earth. They're humans with horse masks. But after seeing this, we of course have some dinner to eat.
You know, I just can't figure out how they managed to make a hole in the fence and poison Fido. It's very, very strange, eh?
Who knows, but awakening in the night, we find the horses lining up to talk to Fierro, and man, him being crucified is hella symbolic. A black horse with a white streak, a unique look to all other horses, and the one that achieved freedom but wanted to come back to help his brothers and sisters, but was crucified in his attempt for doing so. If it isn't clear, it's obvious it's linking him to Christ, first of all, with him being crucified, but in my eyes, it links him more to a political activist who died fighting for their beliefs. Think MLK Jr. or Malcolm X, Elijah Parrish Lovejoy.
The naked horse crucified was Malcolm X.
These people who had ideas that would change the world completely, ideas that the white man deemed dangerous and ludicrous, and they would kill these people over these ideas. These individuals inspired people, and their deaths proved that they needed to change the world, and Fierro here is going to be that for us. Our martyr, 100% showing us that what is going on needs to change. But now, day 12, heading outside, the farmer greets us and introduces us to a new person, the priest.
This is Father Antonio. He's been a friend of mine for a long, long time.
A pleasure to meet my son. I've heard such good things about you.
He's a very obedient and helpful young man, Father.
I see. Tell me, my son, do you believe in God? Wonderful. I can tell you're a good child of God. I'm here because our farmer told me about some animals with very rebellious, wicked souls.
Very rebellious.
Very, very rebellious. They require my blessing and a re-education to bring them back onto the path of light.
The path of light.
Such wicked souls are harbingers of doubt, but what we need is certainty.
Certainty.
An uncertain mind, a mind that questions, allows the devil to creep into your thoughts. Be wary of doubt, trust only faith.
Jeez.
Amen.
So now this is the evil of...
Anyway, we'll be taking that white man. What's her name?
That forces the...
Snowflake. I named her Snowflake.
Perfect. We'll be bringing Snowflake to do penance. Now, take this case of wine and accompany. Again, this is another authoritarian presence forcing its ways onto the people's lives, with Linda needing to be re-educated. Re-education, it's an interesting topic with, of course, with Nazi Germany having re-education camps in place, and also you have things like conversion therapy camps, which are still about today, especially in the United States, with some churches employing them secretly to re-educate LGBT individuals. Often parents send their children to these if they believe that they are LGBT, and often they are extremely traumatized at these camps. It's a scary thought, but again, another theme of authority trying to corral and control the population, trying to force them to fit a certain mold. But this time the church, which, spoiler alert, religion has always been used throughout history to control populations throughout the entire world. But now we carry some wine to the cabin as the father and farmer take Linda to the cabin to be re-educated. I've just vinted a special new red, by the way. I'll have some shipped as soon as I bottle it.
You're too kind, Father. I can't wait to taste it.
Soon, my son. Very soon.
Can't wait.
They won't bring me that room again. My mind resisting is so hard. Please, not abandon me.
I'll disagree with you there. Try it. But...
Alright, you can leave the crate to me and return to your duties.
Seems like they're going to try brainwash Linda into being a good horse, but we are forced to leave them alone and move along to day 13, and immediately
The farmer gets out of his room and we can see the doll freaking out, telling us that Linda is probably being tortured, re-educated, whatever it is. And outside we find a church, and oh damn, they're burning Linda at the stake like a witch. And again, ties into the idea of differences, as back in the day, especially sort of Victorian, early medieval England, women were greatly punished, killed often, if they were believed to be different witches, if they had any sort of different ideas of how to do things, if they employed non-traditional medicines or worshipped a different kind of god. Obviously, the way that these witches were found out was
if they made you a peanut butter sandwich when actually what you wanted was a BLT witch.
High weights to their legs, throw them in a lake, and if they floated, they were witches. If they drowned, they were innocent. Or the other way with fire, you burn them at the stake. If they survive the burning, they're a witch. If they burn alive, they're innocent. So no matter which way it went, they either died, because if there was a witch and they survived the drowning or the burning, they would then be executed by, probably, if I had to assume, by hanging. But during our nightmare of watching Linda being burnt alive at the stake, we are awoken by the farmer who asks us to come with him. Guiding us to the cabin, we find those two people who we found in the back of the truck tied down, and now we have to turn them into horses. We are making more horses.
He could have really cut this video down if he didn't keep repeating the same scenes.
Resist to make these horses, we are forced into it, being told to not be a pissy, to man up and just knuckle down and get on with it. Be a traditional man, which again, tying into an authoritarian figure telling us that we aren't good enough. But the injection we give them is a concoction of 3 different things: horse blood, horse urine, and horse sperm. Kind of fucking cocktail is that? Could this injection we give them be a play on vaccines, how often medicine is given to people when we don't really understand what it is, and it could be like the government trying to control people? It could be, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. But if it is, it's an interesting take. I don't personally believe it, but some people do believe that vaccines and other medicines are used to control people and make sure that they stay in line and make them less ambitious and less willing to make big changes in the world. And of course, you have the idea of autism and vaccines, but a big rule that I was always taught with studying things like this is correlation does not equal causation. But after giving the horses their shots, we test them out by doing a little bit of a run around, and of course we then finish up by branding them, proving that the farmer owns them, permanently marking them, linking them to the farmer. But after finishing up doing that, we take them to the pen and leave them there, and the farmer even offers to help us get our own horse, as we've been so helpful to him over these past 2 weeks. But after doing so, Fierro calls us over and has something to tell us.
Boy, save her, please. Beneath cabin, brain, wash, go, tonight, or else too late. Find rifle, sleep, stop all this.
We need to save Linda, who is underneath the cabin, so we need to go find her and find a rifle so we can save everyone. And at night we do just that, go down to the cabin and head down to try save her. But very quickly you might notice something is wrong. It's very easy, and almost immediately it appears that we are in a dream, as we are on the other side of the cinema screen, and eventually it gets set ablaze. And we wake up again in the middle of the night. So we head out to the cabin and make our way down into the underground area again. But this time it isn't so easy to make it into the basement, as it is locked by a code lock. So we need to find a code, and this takes us to day 14. So today we need to find the code, but this is also our last day on the farm, and I thought there would be a choice here that we could make: save Linda or just go home. But again, there is no choice. We are forced into picking a side here. The farmer of course congratulates us as we head outside. Before celebrating with the farmer, we can go see Fierro and tell him what happened underneath the cabin. He tells us that the code is most likely in the farmer's room, so we need to distract him, and we do this by getting him drunk. And
So
after we
just
get
keeps
him
giving you
drunk,
hope.
getting him drunk,
In a little last.
Silent Hill F wishes it was as profound as this masterpiece.
Down there in the Blackwood, a farmer named Piero stood, and like in a fable, his mare slept in a stable while he was most happy drinking all his tea. But a horse called Fierro, he climbed the wall from zero, managing to steal away his mare. Oh dear. But a hound of a tail within his brain and nail, he swiftly brought back to Piero his mare. Oh dear. Now like in a fable, his mare sleeps in a stable, and the farmer Piero happily drinks his tea. I think I drank a little bit too much. I'm gonna go lie down on the bed.
But now, with the farmer having drunk a bit too much, he heads off to bed.
In his horse outfit.
Or not, he's going to go jork it to watching the horses have sex in the pen again. But after this, we can head into the room and find a key on the floor. This key opens the cabinet, which contains a VHS tape. Inserting the VHS tape, we see a very important video that we have to watch.
Well, who's that? Is that Daddy?
There are only a few simple rules in this house. 1. Obey your father.
'The
2.
vicious
Respect
cycle.
the law of God. 3. Do not commit impure acts.
What a series of... What the fuck was that?
Four. Speak only when spoken to.
'Speak only when spoken to.
This tape tells us the code, with each rule being linked to a part of this doll here. But the tape again reinforces the idea I had about authority figures abusing their power, not allowing people to be their own people. They need to be controlled and fit into a mold that society believes necessary, and they cannot stand out. They need to respect their fathers. They need to respect the church. They shouldn't engage in sinful activities. They should never try go off the beaten path. They should always maintain the status quo. But figuring out the code by linking up each step that was listed, the 4 rules with each body part on this doll, we can head downstairs and unlock the door with the code 8692. And man, this is certainly a way to re-educate people, and it completely reminds me of that one Apple commercial from the 80s, but turning off the loudspeakers, we can grab the rifle and a key, which allows us to go upstairs and find some scissors. And behind the final door, we find a massive projector, a massive industrial machine, a business, a company, whatever it is. It's this thing that is incomprehensible and so big and powerful that is able to control people and
I'm gonna
brainwash them away.
say
Think
that...
governments, think companies, whatever else. But with one act, we are able to completely change the world. By us cutting the film reel, we completely break the control that this organization, corporation, the farmer has over the horses, with it cutting to the horses outside, now not looking down at the floor but looking up, seeing a more hopeful future. And now with that cut, we head back down to Linda and cut her out of her bindings, saving her from being re-educated.
Horses don't talk. What have you done? I thought I could trust you. This is my farm. I won't let you destroy it.
And now it's all futile. Because you're a horse.
What a disappointment, Onsi. I trusted you. I thought you understood me. I thought we were similar. I thought you would be my worthy successor. I had such big plans for you. I was going to propose that you take over the farm when I'm gone. Tell me, do you know how it feels to be betrayed like this? No, you don't. But those who have betrayed me in the past have always paid the price. Tell me, do you know who was always faithful to me? My little dog Fido.
Oh, no.
Maybe you should learn to be as loyal as he was, eh? Maybe you should be more, how to say, like him. Don't be scared, Auntie. It'll only take a second.
And now we turn the farmer into the very thing he despises, together with Linda, with her not really doing anything but jorking the syringe, which could display that love maybe can win over anything, as Anselmo here had a reason to fight to make change, which was Linda. And did state that she did like us and that we were kind and different. But now with the farmer turning into a horse, he now becomes just like everyone else. He is removed from his position of power, his authority level place. Almost like when a higher up in a company gets demoted or fired, they lose all the power that they once had. But now with the farmer turning into a horse, we have a final funeral for Fierro, with him being burnt and turned into ash. But like a phoenix, something is always born from fire, and from the ashes and Fierro's death, a new leader was born, with Linda placing the mask upon us, showing that we have been chosen as the new leader for these horses, someone to follow. Even with the horse mask having an eye removed, showing that our vision, the way that we think, is completely unclouded. We are seeing the world our own way. We are forging our own path. We are the ones that we can make change in the world the way that we see fit. Despite not being one of the horses originally, we belong with them. We desire to be free and able to be the kind of person that we want to be. And to end the game, we march down the main road with all the horses following us, with us finally cutting open the gate, allowing all the horses to reach freedom. And it ends with the horses running along a ridgeline into the sunset. Freedom, changing the world from the actions of individuals able to overcome all forms of authority. Finishing horses leaves you sitting with a very real, very uncomfortable truth. Everyone on that farm is living a life that someone else decided for them in some way. The farmer was given his life by his farmer. He then sets the limits that the horses have to follow. The doctor enforces them, ensures that they can maintain their health and are trapped in that life. And the priest justifies their life, explains to people why they can't do certain things and why they should do these things. The horses accept this life because nobody ever showed them that it's possible to live another way. It's a system built on routine and fear, and once you're inside it long enough, you start believing that the routine and fear are completely normal. Anselmo steps into this world by complete accident. He isn't special, he isn't chosen, he's just thrown into a place where every answer is expected to be a yes, and every question is treated like it's a problem. And he could have stayed that way like he did in the beginning. He could have kept his head down, kept doing his chores, eaten his meals, and walked away after 2 weeks pretending he didn't see any of it. But he didn't. He saw that the people were suffering. He saw what power looks like when nobody pushes back against it, and he reached a point when doing nothing felt worse than doing something. That's why we are almost forced into actually taking charge and making change in everyone's lives. It's not destiny, it's not heroism, it's just deciding that he's done letting other people tell him who he's supposed to be. He's done with his father telling him that he needs to become a man. He's done with the farmer telling him what to do. He's done with the church trying to make him live a life that he doesn't want to live. He wants to do something that actually makes a difference and that he believes in. He wants to be free. Fierro tries to change the world and change things, but he dies for it. Linda survives because someone finally chose to actually help her instead of looking away like everyone else did, like every person that came to buy horses before we arrived. And now Selma, who arrived with no direction in his own life, ends up doing the one thing that nobody on the farm ever did, ever. He chose for himself. He chose to do something because he wanted to do it, not because someone else told him to. And that's the whole point. Not that you can fix everything in the world. Not that you're
This is just the plot of a 2-4 movie. I haven't seen it. I'll say that, like, when it comes to like corporate greed and stuff like that, I think what is it? Amnesia War Pigs, is that what it's called? Does this better without having all the cock everywhere.
you're guaranteed to win and surpass everything and achieve greatness, but it's just that you're allowed to say no and build something different, go a different path, try find a different calling in your life. And maybe that's why Horses hits as hard as it does and why it is such a powerful game, because it reminds you of a truth most people spend their whole lives trying not to think about. Your life doesn't start changing when someone gives you permission to do so. It starts changing the moment you stop letting people decide what it's supposed to be, and when you figure out who you are meant to be for yourself, and you choose to take action and make a change.
Man, that was invigorating. Why ever would this game get banned on Steam?
Hello lads and lasses, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry this video took so goddamn long to make. I've been working on 3 different videos at the same time, and this one kind of just came across my plate and I just really wanted to make it, so it took me about a week to make. But sorry it's taken me quite a while since the last time to actually make a video. Not only working on 3 videos but also illness. I like being ill, I love it, it's good fun. Kind of then I couldn't record because my voice sounded like shit.
All right, so that is Crit Croc's detailed breakdown, we'll say, of Horse. This is like, you take out all like the nudity and shit like that, this is less bad than like a lot of the games that I've covered on here. Like this is very lightweight compared to like Ethnic Cleansing, or what's the ones like 86, I think is what it's called, the old game from the 80s. But it looks like we've hit the top of the hour, so I'm not going to cover the Vara Dark one. I may put it on for another stream. I won't be streaming Wednesday. I'm taking the holidays and taking off, so I will be back on Friday, guys. Also, before you head out, if you haven't liked the stream, go ahead and like the stream. If you're feeling super generous, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later, Try.